Everybody? Good morning. Sorry, it looks like I'm about a minute late here. It looks like my streaming software took a second to load up, but we are here regardless. So welcome everyone to the stream. It looks like we've got a couple people in already. We're going to start looking at the charts right off the bat. Not much has changed in the after hours and pre-market except for DWAC. It is down a little bit in after hours, and pre-market has been stagnant. It looks like we've been struggling around $70 for a little bit. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Let's get this going. So here we are, back for another fun day of live streaming the market, hanging out in the chat and all that. I'm looking forward to it. And unfortunately, I may need to leave a little bit early today. I may need to leave around 11 or so. I do have a bit of work to get done other than YouTube-related stuff, so we'll see about that. Potentially, I'll be leaving a little early today, but it's good to see some people entering the stream. So what's up, everybody? Today we are going to be watching DWAC, PROG, PHUN, and Lucid also, which had an incredible day yesterday. For those of you who weren't watching the stream yesterday, we were up about 30-something%, and looks like maybe more than that at our peaks, maybe 40%. We hit 39 bucks, got bounced off of 40 basically, retraced a little bit, but now we're seeing some very interesting stuff with Lucid, right? We actually trended up in after hours and pre-market, so very interesting stuff. Notorious 0801 says, hi bro, what's up, man? What's up? Looks like PHUN saw massive volume this morning on a single bar right here and shot up quite a bit from 43 cents, 443 to heights of 472. So that's interesting. Wanted to get some shares on DWAC since it's down. Yeah, it is down a little bit. It's down around 70 bucks. That might be acting as support for us. Everything Man says METX. We'll take a look at that in a second. And should I wait a little after market opens or just get in? It's tough to say. We've seen, I'll show you DWAC over the past while. It has been a mixed bag. Obviously, on the initial, the second day of the pump, we ended up shooting up massively as the market opened. Other days, it looks like we have been getting shot down as the market's opened. So, potentially there is an opportunity there if you're willing to wait a little bit and take the risk that we do get shot up. However, it's not guaranteed that every morning we're going to be getting shot down with DWAC. So this could be the end of the pattern. So Morning Bro says Jordan Israel Peterson struggling around 70. That's a cool problem. That is a good problem to have, struggling around 70. Up 7x from where it was about 10 days ago when it was trading at 10. So very good problem to have. Very good problem. Yeah. Nothing bad for DWAC. Just down slightly in after hours. Right. We closed around looks like 72.64. Ended up getting dumped on in after hours right here. But pre-market, we've been stagnant, so that's good. We need BENE to run, says Victor. Well, we'll take a look at that right after we look at METX. Someone else was asking about METX. We'll pull that up. Whoops. We'll pull up METX. Wow. All right, there we go. Wow, it's still just selecting the wrong thing. METX. Let's just do that. Okay, cool. So yeah, METX, it looks like it's running up a bit. Up maybe 10-15% in pre-market. So yeah, that's good actually. That's good. It looks like we saw a great day, a great close yesterday. Metin Holding Group. Let's pull up the market cap on that. We'll see what it's all about. Yahoo Finance probably knows something. All right, so let's just adjust this right here. Looks like very small market cap. We looked at this one yesterday, $78 million market cap on METX. So interesting play. Obviously, it's going to be easy to move. It's not going to take very much capital to move this one. But pre-market especially, right? Pre-market volumes tend to be a bit lower than actual trading day volumes. You can see that. Yesterday during the trading day, we were trading millions of shares every minute. And we are still trading a couple million, but also sometimes under a million, even with this big move upwards. So that's interesting. KTZ says, morning team. Good morning, KTZ. We're looking at METX right now. DWAC PROG, which is actually dumping a little bit. We're getting very close to making new lows of after hours and pre-market. Not what we want to see with PROG. Ideally, we would be trending up. However, when market opens, we could actually see some bullish momentum with it, right? Pre-market oftentimes doesn't indicate where the stock is going to move throughout the course of the day. So I haven't given up on PROG yet. It's still doing relatively well, right? It's just taking a little bit to break past $4. We haven't been able to dip below 350, which is very good. We used that as a strong support, a very solid support yesterday. Bounced up to the 380 to 390 range, which we're now breaking out of now. Unfortunately, it looks like we are starting to make some lows of pre-market. So that's not great. But Notorious 0801 says Tesla at highest pre-market. So let's take a look at Tesla right after we look at BENE. Let's just see what that has going on for it. This cord is messing with my mouse a little bit. It keeps moving the mouse. So BENE, let's see. There we go. BENE, it looks like it's taken a little bit of a morning dip. Not great. But Lucid is shooting up. I'm hopeful that you guys can see that. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see the Lucid chart. Nice. So Lucid is moving up pre-market. That's good. But BENE. We'll take a look at that. $160 million market cap. So still an easy one to move. We could see some kind of pump on this, though. It looks like it may have reached its highs already. You know, I think this one is potentially tied to Trump as well. I think that might be the reason BENE is pumping up a little bit. It may be tied to Trump, and you know, we're likely going to see similar stuff with what happens with DWAC, right? If DWAC moves up, BENE might move up. But I think that all of those stocks, you know, BENE, PHUN, MARK, they tend to be a little bit more bearish than DWAC. They tend to not move up as much when it is up, which is unfortunate. But that's because they're just less tied to Trump. So now we'll take a look at Tesla because I am curious about Tesla. I do hold some Tesla. Okay, wow, we're getting very close to all-time highs for Tesla stock. That's really cool. Oh, getting very close. Yeah, we could see all-time highs today. That would be nice. We might break 1100. It's not that far off. It's not unheard of for Tesla to move up that much in a day. Obviously, you can see what it's been doing over the past year. We have just been shooting up the past couple of days for those of you who haven't been in on Tesla stock or watching it. And I will point out that we have about 25 viewers right now and about 10 likes. If we could bump that up, potentially get everyone to like the video, we could get about 20 likes on this stream. That would be nice to get some more people in here. That would be useful. So if we could do that, it would be much appreciated. But we'll see. We'll see. We're still at 10 likes, but we'll see what we can do. But Tesla is doing very well, right? Up in after hours and pre-market. We closed around 1077. Now we're at 1081. So hopefully, you know, for those of you holding Tesla, hopefully we can burst that up a little bit. I have been considering selling some Tesla. You know, I have some Tesla in a swing account that I am considering selling. So we'll have to see. I might sell it. Maybe. You know, this is a very elevated price, right? Obviously, I would still be holding my long-term Tesla position, but in the swing account, this might be the end for me, right? Now that we're getting close to 1100. Though, you know, Tesla does have the tendency to outperform people's expectations. So I am aware of that, and I don't necessarily want to sell the Tesla. Semrat Singh says, good morning. Good morning, Semrat. Good morning. We got 18 likes. We only need 2 more to get to 20, so we're very close. Great job with that, though. It looks like everyone really is tuned into the stream and not just listening to it passively, right? You guys are actually listening to it. 19 likes. Very close to 20. We only need 1 more. Who wants to be the last 21 likes? There we go. Nice. Thank you guys very much. That really does help get the stream out to some more people, which in turn leads to more comments and, you know, some call-outs potentially, right? Are we going to watch PROG conference? We might pull that up. Let's see the PROG conference, where we can watch that. I tend to not want to pull up just other videos and watch those, but maybe we'll pull it up for a second. But I tend to not just want to watch videos of other people while we're on the live stream. But PTHT says good morning and has a cup of coffee, it looks like, or maybe a pancake. Good morning, PT. Oh, now a cup of coffee, nice. And Manny C says good morning, Rob. Still holding my mark. Nice, Manny. Good morning to you as well. We'll take a look at Mark. I made a video on that yesterday. So as long as we're seeing good news for DWAC, I'm thinking Mark could be up as well. But we'll have to see. It looks like it is up, actually, in after hours. So that is good news. Yeah, up from 184 to 190, 189. Okay, yeah, we're moving up on Mark. That's good. Going to stream the PROG conference, says Antics the Legend. Potentially, right? Well, we might look at the PROG conference. Let me pull up PROG's website and see if they've got it there. Then we can pull that up. When does the conference start, by the way, guys? I'm curious. Investor information, it would probably be there. Let's see. Yeah, healthcare conference on September 15th. No, that's not it. Let's see. You think IRNT is done for now, says Zach Taylor. Well, let's take a look at IRNT. Unfortunately, it has been sinking even in after hours and pre-market. So down to getting below $12 isn't great, right? We were hoping that would act as a little bit of a support. It's always possible that on the opening bell, we will get shot up a little bit as some volume comes in. But let's pull up IRNT on Ortex and see what the shorts are doing. Potentially, that could give us an indication of if this is still being shorted heavily. So, the day has just started for IRNT, and already we're seeing short interest change up 6% on the day. So it looks like shorts are, continuing what they've been doing over the past couple of days, right? Just pushing IRNT down. We're getting very close to full utilization, so 97% utilization. We'll have to see what happens on the opening bell. That could give us an indication, right? If we're really bullish, then that could continue. A lot of traders might end up getting back into it, but for now, I tend to not want to buy things that are literally downtrending at the moment, right? So I'm not looking to get into IRNT. I would wait until I saw some momentum on it. That's my opinion, though. But I'm not looking to get into IRNT at the moment. So let me pull up PROG stock on trends and see what we have going for it. Now that we know there is a conference today, let's see. So looks like not too many more people are searching for PROG stock despite there being a conference. We're actually trending a little bit lower, right? Ever since we did, start peaking with PROG stock a couple days ago. It looks like we have actually been subsiding in search volume as well on Google Trends. Doesn't surprise me. It's possible that if there is some good news at the conference, then we may see higher search volume after that, and thus increased price. But this is actually good to see PROG stock moving up back into the 380 range during pre-market. Right, that's what we did not like seeing PROG just dip below, make all-time lows in the pre-market. Breaking below 375 wasn't great to see, but now we're back into 380, which is where we've been trading for a while. If we actually look at PROG stock, ever since we spiked up, we have been trading in this 380 to 390 range for the most part, right? Or really, I guess 375 to 395 kind of, but mostly 390. We've been trading pretty much there the whole time, ever since we shot up off of the 350 support. So that's actually been a good thing for us, right? The fact that we, just yesterday, if we look, got shot up off of 350, used it as support, ended this downtrend. Now we're consolidating a little bit. Hopefully, we will be able to regain $4. We'll pull up PROG on Ortex. So, let's see. We've got some comments. So, PH Dragon 34 says, yes, what about IRNT? Yeah. So, like I was saying with IRNT, I would be wary of buying it while it's downtrending. I would probably wait to see some momentum if I was going to get in on it. But Nilesh Patel says, good morning, Ram. Is BKKT done? We'll pull up BKKT. I think BKKT, yeah. So it looks like we couldn't get back above 31, which is where we really wanted to be if we were going to see an uptrend. I'm not too bullish on BKKT unless we can get above 31. That could be an indication that we're ready for another leg up. But you can see that we did see a lot of resistance at it several times. And then what's also significant about 31 is that's where we closed on the initial day of our pump. We closed at 31. So if we can get above that, then I would be more bullish. But until then, I am somewhat wary of the stock, right? Obviously, you could try to swing it up to 31. Maybe it will bounce off of a support level that we identify somewhere. Maybe it'll bounce off of $20 and move up towards that direction. But we'll have to see with it. So yeah, PROG Ortex says Antics the Legend. That's what we're about to pull up. We are about to pull that up. Right here, actually. We got it. We had it typed halfway before I started answering BKKT questions. So here we go. Looks like shorts are actually covering a little bit today. That's good. Down 2.72% short interest change. Brings the short interest below 50%, which it was above yesterday. And the utilization is still incredibly high. This number, I'm not sure how accurate it is. It keeps, it basically just stays the same all the time. Despite the short interest changing. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. But I'm starting to suspect that maybe the utilization on Ortex isn't the most up to date. Who knows though? I tend to trust Ortex pretty well, but looks like it might not quite be accurate for that. So we've got 42 people in the stream, 27 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 30 likes. Get some more people in here. Get some more comments rolling in. That's always useful to just get some more call-outs, right? Like METX, actually, which we talked about earlier in the stream. METX is looking potentially promising, right? We are up big in pre-market. It looks like we're returning to all-time highs. We actually may have just made, all-time highs in pre-market. So this could be another one to watch. It's a very low market cap. We'll pull this up. This could be an interesting one because the market cap is so low, under $100 million. 78 million. So pretty low market cap on METX. That's a play that we might want to watch today. It might be doing very well, right? We're already up big in pre-market and after hours, so we'll have to see what happens with it. But it's a promising one, right? Just made all-time highs, at least for this recent pump. Over the past year, obviously, it's declined quite a bit, but it's doing decently right now. So that's what we're worried about the short term. Yep. So METX is doing decently. Let's get this money. Lucid, I challenge you to a game of ping pong. Let's go, says Ambition. Yeah, Lucid is killing it in the pre-market and after hours. It got dumped a little bit late in the trading day yesterday. Looks like it was a bounce off of around 40, right? We got very close to 40. Couldn't quite get there. But now we're back up on our way. We're at 38 right now. So hopefully we will break 40. that would be very cool. All these EV stocks like Lucid and Tesla are exploding. I'll pull up Tesla right here for a second. But Tesla has been doing very well also, and leads me to believe that part of the reason that people are buying into Lucid is because they saw how well Tesla was doing. But that's just a little theory of mine. You can also see the massive volume on Lucid. And what's important to note about Lucid is that we did break a very significant resistance level. So I'll actually pull up Lucid on a chart that you guys can see that's not covered up by my face while I explain this. But what's important about Lucid is that we did break this $28 resistance level, which had acted on us very many times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we had gotten shot off of $28. And when we did break, it was fairly obvious that it was going to be in a significant way. Now, this was a very significant way, right? Up all the way almost to $40. That's bigger than what even I was thinking we would do, but still really impressive that we were able to do that off of breaking the $28 resistance. So really cool stuff. Really cool. And if we actually want, we can pull up the Lucid market cap. It's going to be a bit of a tougher one to move. You can see $57 billion market cap. However, whales really like stocks like Lucid that are very volatile and have large market caps because it actually allows them to put in enough capital to make significant changes in their portfolio. Because oftentimes, if they're buying these cheaper stocks, these penny stocks, if a whale's doing it, they want to put in a significant amount of money. And that will often alone move the stock. And then when they want to get out, that will move the stock downwards. So, talking about a stock that has maybe, a couple $100 million market cap, a whale might want to put in a couple $100 million if they're trading something. And this stock actually allows them to do something similar to that, right? They could put in probably $100 million and not have the largest effect on Lucid stock price because the market cap is so large. And this offers trading opportunities for much larger traders than us. So that is pretty cool. A lot of people... a lot of big names are probably getting in on Lucid, trying to play off the volatility right now. But we'll pull up Tesla just to take a peek at it. We'll keep up the chart on Tesla over here. I know this right graph over here is not quite the most visible, unfortunately, but it's important to have something there, I think. So we've got 29 likes. We just need one more. Just one more. There we go. We got it. Up to 30 likes. Nice. That's good. So, Ambition 2020 says, early keyhole, such a great day. Lucid, yes. Yeah, Lucid's doing good. Lucid is doing good. Looks like we had some interesting volatility in the pre-market, but that's cool. Let's see. What else did we want? We wanted to watch PHUN. Now, I know we have that in the title of the video. It looks like, unfortunately, with PHUN, we are subsiding a bit during after hours. We closed the day around 478. Now we're trading around 457. Similar story to DWAC, right? If you look at these two charts, DWAC and PHUN, they're basically the same chart, except PHUN saw a massive spike in volume. I wonder what news came out. Okay, so at 8:30, it looks like they spiked on news that they're now accepting Bitcoin for light personal computers. Very interesting. So that might rally some interest in PHUN. This could be a good one to watch. Do you see PHUN going to $11 range again soon? Asks Yasa Khan. Possibly, right? So what I always look at with PHUN is what's going to happen with DWAC. And to see PHUN get back up above $10, especially to $11, we would have to see DWAC moving up significantly, or potentially we could see a big Bitcoin pump, right? Because just at 8:31 today, they announced that they were accepting Bitcoin for light personal computers. So maybe we'll see some Bitcoin players getting in on PHUN. Who knows, though? You know, it wasn't the biggest pump that we saw when that news was announced, and we have subsided since. But some volume did come in, right? A couple 100,000 shares were traded that minute. So maybe we'll see that. But once again, I think that if we're going to see PHUN get back up to 10 and $11, we're going to have to see a lot of action in the upwards direction with DWAC. I think that they tend to trade in sympathy with each other. If you look at the charts, they look almost identical to each other. And the tough thing about PHUN is that it tends to be a little bit more bearish. It tends to not move up as much. So Paula Blackford says, "Good morning, Rob. Are you expecting a nice reversal in PHUN?" Potentially, right? I was just talking about this. So if we look at the PHUN market cap, we can pull these both up for PHUN and DWAC. I'll pull both of those market caps up. I think that what we're going to have to see if we want PHUN to move up is DWAC moving up. And DWAC is consolidating right now. It looks like we are slightly uptrending, but more recently we've been playing around $70, consolidating there, which is a good thing to see. But we will have to wait for DWAC to move up. I think that one tends to be the leader. If you look at the market cap, it's 2.61 billion, and PHUN has a market cap of 400 million, so much smaller than DWAC. Obviously, more people have heard of DWAC than PHUN, and we can actually pull this up on Google Trends as well to exemplify that. But we will have to wait for DWAC, I think, because they do trade in sympathy with each other. So let's pull up the Google Trends data for both of those. Okay, so the past 7 days for these stocks. Yeah. So right here you can see on Google Trends, DWAC is the blue line and PHUN is the red line. So obviously a lot more people are searching for DWAC. It's a slightly more popular one. And I've noticed that the way PHUN and DWAC trade is they tend to trade almost like cryptos in the sense that when one crypto, typically the leader like Bitcoin, I would look at DWAC like it's the leader of this pack, right? Of PHUN and MARK and all that. When one crypto like Bitcoin moves up, it tends to be that other smaller market cap cryptos move up in a similar way. However, not quite as much as the main crypto, right? So we can see that with, we'll pull up CoinMarketCap and show you guys Bitcoin and some other cryptos, but they won't trade exactly the same, right? Now they've had some time to diverge a bit, but I will try to exemplify this over the past year. So here we go. We'll do it with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So right here you have the chart of Bitcoin, and you can see that, yeah, we were moving up most of the year, stagnating around here, dumping down, then moving up, and you just see the exact same pattern with Ethereum, right? Not exactly the same, but pretty similar. They dump and pump around the same times, and it's the same with DWAC and PHUN. So if we want one to go up, we'll have to see both go up most likely, just because DWAC tends to be the leader in that case. So let's see, we've gotten a lot of comments so far. So PHUN has double bottom. It has to bounce back to $12 for sure, but every Friday is red day, good to buy in. It closed today. Monday is a good and smooth day after so many days red. Yeah, maybe it is. We'll have to see. Potentially, PHUN could be getting some upwards pressure because of the new news that they just announced at 8:30 today that they are accepting Bitcoin for their light personal computers. So that could be moving PHUN up in a decent way. And Paul Blackford says, I'm so heavily invested in PHUN, getting worried here. Yeah, it is worrying seeing a stock drop like this. And that's why it's important not to put too much money into any one play. Typically, you want to be diversified, not into different sectors necessarily, but into different stocks, right? If you're trading, you don't want to have too much into one thing. KTZ says, me too, Paul. I'm hurting, but praying for a miracle. Yeah, hopefully it will move up. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful for DWAC. And the the fact that DWAC is likely to move up, in my opinion, means that PHUN also is likely to move up. 5 is going to be tough to break, right? We've recently gotten shot down below 5, and it acted as resistance for us, so 5 is going to be tough, but we'll see if we can do it. Is Mark going with DWAC? Any positive movement? Should we take our loss and move on to better use the US dollars? We'll look at MARK. But yeah, it's similar to DWAC, except it's not quite trading as similarly as PHUN is. I think that if we did see a big boost in DWAC, we might see a littler boost in MARK, but you can see for the most part it has just been trending downwards. There's been very little indication of an uptrend when DWAC started making one from around a couple of days ago. So unfortunately for Mark, it looks like it might be done. And this, I'm not telling anyone to sell it if they want to keep holding it, because obviously there's the potential that it could move up again. But I see a better opportunity with DWAC, I think. So that's just my opinion. Ambition 2020 says HCWB is interesting. I'm going to grab a little. Yeah, we were looking at that earlier. HCWB, it was making all-time highs for this pump. Or no, this is a different one. What were we looking at? METX. We were looking at METX. Yeah, that's an interest. But HCWB, let's look at HCWB. Yeah, so it has just been fading away. Maybe we'll see some positive action on the opening bell. It's possible. I don't like to buy these downtrends, though. I am wary of, it looks like it's just been downtrending. I am wary of that, but there is the potential that on the opening bell it could get shot up, so that could be a good play. UFOs are real. Hoping a DWAC catalyst today. Yeah, I hope so. I don't even know if we necessarily need a DWAC catalyst. I think that a lot of people are interested in DWAC regardless. A lot of people in the comments, at least, of some of my DWAC videos have been talking about how they're waiting to buy the dip. So I think that there's a lot of protection on the downside, right? I think that if we do start declining, that's when a lot of people start buying. And that's actually what we ended up getting stopped out. We didn't end up even hitting $50 as our resistance or as our support because I think so many people were just buying this stock as it was dipping. So I am thinking that there's a lot of protection for DWAC from the downside. I think there's still a lot of people who heard about this stock the day after it had pumped up massively and it was already trading above $100 for part of the day, and they didn't want to buy into the FOMO, right? They didn't want to just FOMO buy in, so they've been waiting for a dip. Some people did FOMO buy in, but a lot of people were waiting for a dip, and some people were buying when we ended up getting near 55. So I think that there's still a lot of protection. I think a lot of people are hoping that it will get down to 30. I don't think that's very likely. And if we did, then I think that might actually be the end of DWAC. If we did get down to 30, that could be very bad for it. So let's see. PTHT. Oops, sorry, I meant BENE is double bottom, not PHUN, my bad. Yeah, okay, so let's look at BENE. Okay, yeah, we are seeing, 1040. Looks like there's a double bottom right there. That's nice. That could be good. That could be really good. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on BENE throughout the day. James Wyro, Steck. BBIG up in December hold? Yeah, I think BBIG, as we get closer to the tied dividend release date, will be moving up. So, if we look at the yearly chart, probably around here is when it'll start moving up, right? Around when December begins, probably, is when I would expect to start seeing some more interest in the stock, right? It'll probably start getting popularized on Reddit again. Obviously, it had pump potential in the past, right before the dividend, and a lot of people sold out when the dividend got delayed. It's likely that a similar amount of people or more will want to be buying into the next dividend, or into the actual dividend now that it's been delayed, because they wanted it the first time. There's no reason not to get in on it the second time. Granted, a lot of people are probably salty about the fact that the company changed things last minute. Some people probably lost money. I sold BBIG last month, so glad I got out. Yeah, that was a good sell, because we have been trending down ever since the dividend got delayed. So it is unfortunate, but I'm not bearish overall on BBIG. I think that eventually we will start moving up, but there's no telling. Johnny T says, "Good morning, Jason." Oops, I mean Rob. Nice. Hoping for some positivity for DWAC to close this week / month. Yeah, I think we could see that. I could see this being a green week for DWAC. Well, actually, it looks like we opened let's see, maybe not a green week. Yeah, maybe not a green week, because that would mean we would have to be closing above around 120. So maybe not a green week, but I think a green month is definitely possible. I think that we could be moving up, probably, hopefully, continuing this uptrend. Getting above $80 will be a little bit of a problem for us. I think we'll see some resistance there, but hopefully not much. We are building up some support at 70. It looks like we're dipping a bit, though, during the opening bell. So hopefully we'll get back up above 70, use it as a support. PROG is seeing some resistance. Maybe not. We're breaking past 390, which is where we've been trading pretty much all morning, right? This 380 or 375 to 390 range. DWAC is dumping, unfortunately, right? Down 5% on the day. Don't like to see that. Tesla is dumping a little bit. That isn't too surprising considering how high it is. But what else were we going to look at? We had another stock, Lucid. Let's see what Lucid is doing. The opening bell. It looks like it might be green. It's up 10%. Yeah, so we saw a little bit of red, but now some green on Lucid. But DWAC, unfortunately, is getting sold off in a fairly significant way, right? We're not just completely getting shot down. We are seeing some green now, but we're going to have to see it. Hopefully, we'll get back above 70. That is a key support for us if we can get in there. Ambition 2020 says, riding Lucid. Nice. Yeah, Lucid's doing great. Lucid's just, it's pumping up and up and up. So that's a good one. If we break $40, that could be huge for Lucid. That could be big. A lot of people might be looking to get in on that. Good morning, says Nathan. Good morning to you as well. All right, guys, and I am looking. We have about 40 likes on the stream. Let's see if we can't get that up to 45. I know a lot of you have already liked it, and I appreciate that. But we do have about 50 viewers right now, so potentially some of them have not liked it yet. Some of you have not. But we'll see. The more likes we get, the more people the stream gets out to and the more people we get in the comments. Okay, so DWAC is coming back, and LCID is still making highs on this bar, right? Even though we got pushed down a little bit, LCID is still up. That's really good. That's really good. And PROG, it looks like, was halted. PROG was halted. That's really interesting that PROG got halted. Let me delete this rectangle. But it looks like it's still trading on the 9. I guess it resumed trading, but we should be a couple bars in with PROG. That's very strange why this bar is moving, but it looks like it's the 930 bar. DWAC blasting through 70. Really good stuff. Lucid still making highs on this bar. Very nice. PROG is a confusing one. It looks like there are far fewer bars than there should be. There should be a couple of bars now, maybe 4 bars, and looks like there's just one, but it's still moving, so I don't know if it's a halt or what. Johnny T, Rob, what kind of short sale action do you see on DWAG this morning? I assume you mean DWAC. So let's take a look at the Ortex. Let's take a look at that. So short interest change, obviously Ortex doesn't have data for this anymore. They used to at one point. However, the borrowed change is 259K. So it looks like 259 shares or 259,000 shares were borrowed, which means shorted essentially, right? They borrow them to short them. So that's actually very significant. I think that includes, that's basically the volume. It doesn't say, 259K up or down, but a lot of people are getting in and out of their positions. We only have a total of 276K borrowed shares, so not the highest, but very few people were actually returning their shares. So looks like once people short DWAC, they're in it for a bit. But yeah, we're struggling with 70. We're going to have to see. It looks like we got shot back down below it. How is Ortex showing for PHUN? We'll take a look at that. PHUN on Ortex. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this isn't surprising. We'll pull up PHUN for a second. We'll get rid of Lucid. It looks like it's tanking. But we'll pull up PHUN, and this is not surprising to see shorts piling in, right? Up 17% on the day. But still, that is relatively a small increase because the way they calculate this is based off of the existing short positions that there are. So it's a 17% increase in existing short positions, which are only 4.7%. So not the highest increase, but still, 17% increase. It means that shorts are becoming a little bit more confident, potentially a little bit more cocky, right? They might not be right about PHUN. It could explode and end up hurting them. It could. We'll have to see what happens with DWAC. I think the $70 level could be indicative of how the rest of the day ends up performing. We'll have to see, though. Obviously, there's the chance that we could dump and then come back, or pump and then move down. But I think that 70 is acting pretty importantly for us. If you look back at yesterday, we played around it for a bit and then used it as support several times. And it's not ideal to see us really struggling with it in this way. I would have liked if we had just stayed above 70 and used it as support, but that's understandable. I'm guessing that on 275K short positions, it doesn't show at what price. No, unfortunately, it does not. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't get to see the prices that it was being shorted at, so that's unfortunate. Yeah. Ortex knows a lot, but not that much. IRNT is moving a bit. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at IRNT. Oh, yeah. See, that's actually exactly what we wanted to see with IRNT. We wanted to see us getting back above 12. This could be really good. This could be really good. It's still not the biggest movement, all things considered, if you look at the day bar, but it's fairly significant, right? Moving from below 12 to above 12 is really great. This could be a good play to get in. Yeah, DWAC is tanking down to $68. Hopefully we can get some more buying pressure on that. Looks like PROG was halted, though. We had a 5-minute halt on PROG, and now it's moving down. So thank you, market makers, for halting PROG. That's nice. Tesla was tanking a little bit in the first couple bars, but is now trying to regain its open, so we'll see. Oh, nice on IRNT. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. This could be one. This could be a good one for today, right? It tanked yesterday. We were moving down big, but now we're moving up, so this could be very good for IRNT, actually. Looks like we're just making new highs on most of these bars, so good stuff. Getting close to 13. We'll pull that chart down a little bit. Yeah, hopefully DWAC doesn't continue this dump. It's still not the most significant, right? Down 5%, almost 6%. Not a massive movement for DWAC. It typically sees a lot of volatility like this, so I'm not too worried about it. But Joseph Agnello says, good morning to you, and let's go IRNT. Yeah, let's go. We're making new highs on each bar, it looks like, on most of these bars. So hopefully we can do the same with this bar. We're getting very close to it, getting very close to $13. That could act as a little resistance, but if we blow through it, that could actually be very bullish. So let's see. It looks like, yeah, with IRNT, $13, we did struggle around yesterday for a little bit. We kept trying to get above it and then falling. So let me actually pull that up over here. Yeah, you can see $13. We dumped below it 3 times and tried getting back above. So down here, we dropped below 13 and moved up above it. We dumped below it again and shot back above. And then one final time, we barely got above $13 before moving down. So 13 could be significant for us. It looks like we were playing at that level for a while yesterday. UFOs are real. Is DWAC guaranteed to turn into TMTG? Yeah, so let me pull up the filing. I believe it is guaranteed to turn into TMTG. Let's pull up the filing right here. So, right here it says that Trump Media and Technology Group and Digital World Acquisition Corp., DWAC, have entered into a definitive merger agreement providing for a business combination that will result in Trump Media and Technology Group becoming a publicly listed company. So basically, yes, this is saying it's a definitive merger agreement. So as far as everyone knows, it is definitive. You never know what could go on, though. You never know what could go on. Let's look at Lucid. Ambition 2020 is talking about that. Just took a profit on Lucid. We hit 40 and may go back in. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Above 40. Nice pump. Nice trade on that one. Awesome trade. So yeah, no, DWAC, we can see is confirmed to becoming TMTG. And we looked at this yesterday in our DWAC video. But yeah, you're welcome, UFOs are real. I think UFOs are real too. Yeah, there we go. So let's pull up the PROG short date. Now that we're getting a halt, I'm curious if shorts are coming back in. No, so PROG short data, we're still down on PROG, short interest-wise, right? Shorts are actually decreasing their position. I wonder why. And it really seems strange that we got halted at the opening bell. You can see right here, we only got 3 bars because we did get halted. We got halted again, it looks like. That's crazy. We were only trading about 1 million shares each. It wasn't that significant volume, and we've obviously seen large moves in the stock price. I'm really unsure of why they were halting PROG. Let's see. They're not saying anything about it on the live news, but you can see we started trading at 9:30, and then 9:35 is the next bar we got, and then 9:40 is the next bar we got after that. So, oh, sorry. You know what? I'm on the 5-minute chart. Forget me. That's crazy, guys. I'm very sorry about that. I thought I was on the 1-minute chart. I thought PROG was getting halted. Forget that. That's crazy, guys. Forget about it. Halts are weapons. Yeah, they are. They are. Fortunately, though, they've not been getting used on PROG. I was just being dumb looking at the 5-minute chart. That's, yeah, that makes a lot more sense because I saw the bars moving while they were supposedly being halted, right? And I thought that was very, very strange. So, Stone get money. Don't have that sort of mentality with professionals when playing the markets. So what did Stone mentality or Stone get money say? I'm curious. The hedges are going hard in every ticket. They can't see us win. Yeah, unfortunately, the hedge funds do like to take money from retail. That is unfortunate. But, you know, Jordan Israel Peterson is right. You can't have a pessimistic mentality. I think you have to be optimistic about things. Not unrealistic, though. You know, have a realistic expectation of what can happen, but don't just think that everything's going to get beaten on, right? There's always the potential that will happen. You have to watch out for it, but I think having a little bit of optimism allows you to make good decisions in the long run, right? So they do not have that on their minds when trading. Just aim at winning, emotionless with your trades. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jordan Israel Peterson. And Joseph Agnello says Lucid. Yeah, Lucid's doing really good, making highs on the last bar, or in this bar actually at 41.60. Really good. Ambition 2020 says, eat your Wheaties, just slipping. 5-minute chart had me going. Yeah, yeah, that was interesting. Every now and then, you know, that kind of stuff happens. All right, that's the game, says Jordan Israel Peterson. Yep. And, you know, another game that we can play, actually, we've got 78 viewers right here and 54 likes. Let's see if we can't pump that up to 60. Let's play that game. Let's see if we can't pump that up. Just 6 more likes could get us there. PHUN bouncing, and Joseph Ignalis is taking profit on Lucid. Well, it looks like taking profit a little bit ago would have been a good idea because we are dumping down below 40. But, you know, it depends on the outlook for how long you're looking to be in the trade for, because obviously during a lot of days, Lucid was up fairly significantly. You can even see yesterday, you know, we were just green bar after green bar, despite not ending at the top of each of these, right? So each candle wick was somewhat significant, right? Not these necessarily, but there were some significant candle wicks before we did end up pumping up more. So, you know, depending on the time frame you're looking at, it could be a good idea to either exit or enter the trade. But if you're just scalping, then yeah, it looks like it was a good sell a little bit ago. Back on Lucid, says Ambition under 40. That's nice. Nice buy on that. Looks like you're in the green now. So hopefully we continue to move up. Hopefully we move up again. Yeah, we did get 60 likes, guys. Thank you very much. Awesome job. We won that. So Tesla is starting to move up as well. It looks like Lucid is having a little bit of trouble with 40. Not to be, you know, that's not a surprise. 40 is probably going to act as a little bit of a resistance. It's a strong psychological level. Whenever you see those round 10, you know, multiples of 10, that tends to act as a resistance, even for stocks like Tesla. You can see 1080 or, you know, 1080 looks like it's acting as a little bit of a resistance. You can see we've moved up above it several times before getting shot down off of it. We'll see if that happens with this bar. We'll see with that. Lucid moving down a little bit, but maybe it has a chance to recover. We'll have to see. $40. Maybe we can bounce back above it soon. Hopefully it will act more as a support in this situation, right? If we can get back above. DWAC is starting to rebound a little bit, though. Back up to 68.5, 68.13. We're going to see if we can't have a little V shape going on with DWAC. Hopefully we can start moving up. We'll see, though. We'll see. Back on Lucid. Nice. Though we are dipping down below 39. I don't know what kind of a stop loss you have on this, but we are tanking a little bit. All right, we got 61 likes. Nice. I won't ask for likes for a little bit. I'll hold off on that. I'll hold off. But I am curious what's going on with Shiba Inu coin. Shiba Inu was doing pretty well. It looks like if we pull up Coinbase or CoinMarketCap, we are back above Dogecoin. The number 9 highest market cap crypto right here is Shiba Inu, with $38 billion worth of market cap, right above, just teasing Dogecoin. Dogecoin has $37 billion. Shiba Inu is just $1 billion more, so really throwing it in Dogecoin's face. Though both of them are actually down over the past 24 hours. Shiba Inu is down about 10%, Dogecoin down about 5%. Over the past 7 days, Dogecoin is up 17%, Shiba Inu up 153%, so there we go. So Shiba Inu is doing decently. Let's see the actual chart. I am curious about this. I know some people have been trading it on the stream, but let's see. 7 days, yeah, so we're not quite at the highs. It looks like we're just playing around for a little bit. We're going to have to consolidate maybe while some more news comes out, potentially Robinhood listing. That's what a lot of people are talking about. I believe the two big catalysts for Shiba Inu at the moment are a potential Robinhood listing as well as a potential burn of coins, right? People are hoping that Shiba Inu will burn some coins. And, the question I always have about that, maybe people who are more into the crypto community understand, is who's going to be burning the coins, right? Who's going to be burning the billions of dollars worth of value that they might have in coins to decrease the market cap enough? I'm always curious about that. Who's throwing those coins away? But Ambition 2020 says getting down on AGRI. Let's take a look at AGRI. Yeah, no, this one had some interesting moves today, up to 360. So there is some upside. DWAC back above 70. Awesome V shape. That's exactly what we were hoping for. Tesla doing something similar. Very interesting V shape on Tesla, making highs of the day, potentially getting close to highs of all time, getting very close. If you look, 1094.94, so almost 1095 is where Tesla is going to be making their all-time highs. And DWAC seeing a little resistance at 70. Hopefully we can get back above that. I missed the Shiba Inu ride. What do you think would be a good buy-in price? Ooh, for Shiba Inu? Yeah. See, the thing is, it already has such a large market cap, and it really depends on if you're looking to get in on it as a trade or if you're trying to get in on it long-term, right? Because Shiba Inu already at a $38 billion market cap. I'm just not sure how much higher this can really get, because very few people, potentially could get higher, right? Because I will point this out. Very few people actually know about it in comparison, at least, to how many know about Dogecoin. Dogecoin really was known more over the internet than Shiba Inu, and already Shiba Inu has a much larger market cap. I think that some people might be more willing to hold this coin in large quantities than Dogecoin. I think Dogecoin was fairly well dispersed. Shiba Inu is newer. If you look back at the past year, it didn't really exist much over here. I think that it really started trading for the most part in March. I think it started trading in March. I'm pretty sure it started trading in March. But regardless, it already has a $40 or $38 billion market cap. So that's pretty high. And maybe it could double, maybe it could get to near 80 million, but it would already have to overtake so many coins. That would make it the 4th most popular crypto in existence. So I'm not sure if it has the popularity or the momentum to get up above Tether. Maybe it does, but Dogecoin seemed like it had potentially a better shot, right? And it did get very high on these charts, right? It got to around a $78 million market cap, I think. But Shiba Inu, I'm not sure if it still has the momentum to go, right? I got in on it when they listed on Coinbase a while ago, so I'm up. I'll pull up my not my Robinhood. It's not trading on Robinhood yet. I'll pull up the Webull, and I will show you guys the Shiba Inu that I've got. But it's barely anything at this point, right? I sold most of my Shiba Inu. I'll pull it up here, though. So, yeah, barely have any Shiba Inu left. It's only $200 worth. I will, let me pull up the cam so you guys can see this. But if you look, it's up 700% already on my buy. So up 174 bucks, and it cost me 24 bucks to buy into that position. So on the day, I've made 23 bucks, but I'm not too concerned about Shiba Inu at this point, right? I have such a small amount of money in it. I've mostly sold out. So I don't know how much Shiba Inu could really rise at this point, but DWAC is what I'm most bullish on. You can see it's bouncing back up above $70 per share. Really good stuff. Like to see that. And Riggs X says, hey, it's not the same if I don't stop by and show my bro some love. Thanks for all your hard work and all that you do, Rob. Enough love. Wishing everyone a prosperous day. Thank you, Riggs. Much appreciated. Great to see you in the stream again. You have been a very avid viewer of the streams. I recognize you pretty much every time, so that's really good. Really good to see. And, today is actually the week anniversary of when my first stream started, right? Last Friday was the first stream that I did. So this is officially, 1 week into streaming, and I am enjoying it a lot. And it looks like Tesla actually just made all-time highs again at 1096.49. They beat out their old all-time highs by just a couple of cents, it looks like. Really cool. Or no, a couple of bucks, about $2. So really cool stuff on Tesla, making new all-time highs on this minute, actually. Wow. Recorded live. Very nice. Tesla's doing incredibly well. And Paula Blackford says, give Rob a like. Yes, please. I appreciate that. In fact, if we only got 3 more likes, we would be at 70. So that would be much appreciated if we could get up to 70 likes. Looks like DWAC is struggling a little bit at 70 still, right? Not a surprise at all, right? 70 is a clearly established support/resistance, right? Just a key level for DWAC. You can see we played off of it several times yesterday. We struggled to get above it earlier on in the day, and then we actually used it as support later on. Now we've just been playing around it, and hopefully we're going to maintain our level above 70. I think that will be relatively key for continuing the uptrend that we're on, but we'll see. We'll see. KTZ says, congratulations, you're doing great, Rob. I appreciate that. Yeah. No, I'm liking these streams a lot, also because, the comments, people are pointing out interesting stocks that I would not otherwise have heard of. I mean, we're watching AGRI. This could be a good play. And someone, the other day, I forget the ticker for it, but someone pointed out a $6 million market cap stock, which was very promising. I forget what it was, though. Speedy G says, bro, you only been streaming for a week. Seems like you've been doing it for a while. Yeah, no, it feels like I've been doing it for a while, but it has only been a week, I think. If I look back at the past streams, I think there's only 5 of them or 4 of them or something like that. So, yeah. So Noble H says, congrats on the week anniversary. I think you were one of the first viewers, Noble H, way back when, last Friday. So, hopefully in a year or so, we'll be looking back on this as way off in the distance. Hopefully we continue these streams. I'm enjoying them so far. I'm learning a lot about stocks just from listening to the comments. So you guys are very helpful to me as well. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, this is definitely, I will say, in the past, when I was just trading in the mornings alone, it was not as interesting, I will say, than doing the streams. The streams, I definitely learn a lot more than I did just watching the markets myself. Watching them with you guys is very helpful for me as well. So I appreciate that. And, we have been growing. The streams have been getting bigger. The first one was actually the largest. We had like 200 consecutive viewers just continually watching the stream because DWAC was pumping up massively. That was actually, I believe, we started the first stream this day when it was up at 175. And so a lot of people were searching for DWAC, probably found the channel that way. But, since then we took a bit of a tumble from first stream to second stream, but have since been growing nicely. So it's nice to see a growing community here. And at some point, I would like to make other kind of other ways for the community to interact, maybe a Discord or something like that at some point, right? I don't think it's quite large enough yet, but maybe once we hit 10K subs, we'll make a Discord. That could be nice. That would be fun, I think, to have a Discord where we can communicate not just from 9 to 12, but throughout the rest of the day, because oftentimes there will be plays going on that aren't necessarily happening in the morning, right? Sometimes something will happen at 6 p.m. and you might want to get in on a play or at least start researching a play for the next day, and you just don't know about it, and the news hasn't come out, the catalyst hasn't been revealed until later on in the day. So I think these streams are a great way to keep active with the markets early on, but eventually I think a Discord would be nice. So Speedy G says, what program are you using? This is TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim. I'll pull that up. TD Ameritrade. So basically, I think, yeah. So if you pull up, go to TD Ameritrade's site, you have to make an account, but then you can download Thinkorswim. I think investment products, it might be under this. It might be under this tab. Maybe not. It's somewhere. Tools and platforms. Here we go. the Thinkorswim trading platform. So there we go, Thinkorswim desktop. You may actually be able to download it without. Yeah, it looks like there's a web platform, but I don't think their web platform is very good. I think what you want is the Thinkorswim for desktop right here on TD Ameritrade's website. So that's what I'm using for this. That's what this is. But earlier I was using CoinMarketCap, which I will show you. Very nice site for viewing all the cryptos. You can see Bitcoin has always been number one, a $1.15 trillion market cap. Very impressive on Bitcoin, which we have been struggling to break the all-time highs, right? We did it. We did it very briefly and have since subsided. If you look at the year, you can see we barely touched up above the all-time highs for Bitcoin and have subsided a little bit. I'm curious to see what we can do because of a $1 trillion market cap, it's getting very large. I know there are a lot of people who have been buying Bitcoin during the last dump. If you look at the year, you can see it was down as low as almost down below 30,000 at one point. So a lot of people are up 100% on their money. They might be looking to sell. So we'll have to see. So Jordan Isidore Peterson says, Rob, be careful with the Discord move. They are similar to modern Stanford experiments. Truly, I say. In what way? In terms of the Discord, the Stanford prison experiment? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. Hopefully we would have some moderators on the Discord to stop any kind of mistreatment of people. But I think it is useful to have a means of communication. I tend to not text and use those digital forms of communication too often. I like to do these kinds of more personal informs, right? Like video calls and even just phone calls are nicer, I think, than just text. I agree with you on that. But it is nice, sometimes if for the purposes of trading and making money to get something called out to you via text, it's not always convenient to be on live stream 24/7. But yeah, you're talking about the prison experiment. Yeah. So no, I definitely see, it's a problem with a lot of those platforms where, where people are communicating digitally via just chat. That is a big problem. I think people can get a little nasty on those. It's not as personal. I think that, when you're doing something like this, where it's a live stream and you're communicating with people live, it's a bit less prevalent. But yeah, definitely like on Twitter and whatnot, people can get pretty nasty. On Discord, I can imagine they could do that as well. Hopefully we would keep the community somewhat positive, though. I'd like to see a positive community on it if we did end up making a Discord. But it looks like DWAC is still struggling with 70. Hopefully this could be, this is optimistic to say, hopefully this could be another final bounce upwards off of 70. We'll see, though. It looks like we have been playing around it all day thus far, so we'll likely continue to do that. But PROG has finally settled and is starting to move up, right? It had a lot of action at 372 and has since been trending up a little bit, 378. What we really want is to get above $4, okay? And for those of you who have not been keeping up with the past streams, who've not been watching the past streams, we're going to look at PROG on the options trader for PROG, right? You can actually see it's increased since last time. You can see the open interest call options at the $4 strike price are 27,000. So this is only growing. Like I was saying in some of the other streams, I believe I said that, this is a November 19th strike date. So there is still plenty of time to be buying these call options. A lot of people are likely going to be doing that. And I don't necessarily recommend buying the call options because, if you look at this, they're selling them for a very large premium, right? 95 cents for an out-of-the-money call option. So already, if you were to buy that, then you would have to expect you would only be breaking even if PROG got to $4.95 by November 19th. You'd just be breaking even. So it's very tough to make money with these call options. However, what's very good about them is that they can put pressure on institutions that have sold the call options because institutions are likely selling these call options naked. The more institutions that do that and the more call options that are out there, the more pressure there is for institutions to buy up shares when these become in the money and it becomes apparent that they might expire in the money. Institutions know that they'll have to pay out shares to people holding the call options. And that actually leads to them buying shares themselves so that they can then transfer those to people who have bought the call option if they're in the money. And that leads to an increasing stock price, right? People buying the shares. Okay, so I like Mark today. What do you think, says Joseph Agnello. Let's see what Mark is doing right now. Let's see what Mark is doing. Yeah, Mark is actually doing very well, up 10%. Really good stuff. Yeah, that's really good. The fact that we got back up above 2. That's amazing. Yeah, it looks like it has broken out of the pattern a little bit, right? It's not necessarily just trading along with DWAC, although I wonder what time this started, 9:42. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely not just trapped with DWAC, but let's see if there was any news or any kind of catalyst that could get this thing moving. No, it looks like it's just a trader's move right here. So yeah, up 11%. Mark is looking good. Some people might be looking to pump this thing up a little bit. Like I said, it is a low market cap stock. Let's look at the market cap for it. IRNT good volume. We'll look at that in a second. $218 million market cap, so relatively low. Definitely easy to push around, and it looks like right now people are pushing it to the upside, which is really good for people who are holding this. So Dapper Romeo says, "Remark Holdings Inc. to the moon. Let's go." That might be a bot. It looks almost like a bottish comment. We'll see. But Zach Taylor says IRNT good volume. Let's take a look at IRNT. Yeah, IRNT is looking really good. We were watching this earlier today. The fact that it was able to so easily and quickly break 12 and then 13 is really good. 13 may have acted as a resistance for us. It looks like we did actually bounce off of 13 initially, but now it seems like it's acting as a bit of support, right? We tried to dip below and are now shooting up above. That's really good. That Romeo might be a bot, man. He says the same thing twice. But yeah, 13 was actually a key level for us yesterday, right? You can see, I will draw a line for you guys right here. So it's a little bit more visible because I know your screens are probably a little bit smaller than this screen. But you can see that 13 we did bounce off of as support before dipping below, and we struggled with it 3 times, right? We dipped below, popped back up above, dipped below again, popped back up above, and then dipped below, and one final time we barely were able to get above 13 for any amount of time before we dipped below the final time. But it's really good that we're back up above it now. So this could be a solid support for us. It looks like we're making highs of day just about. We're very close to it. So really good stuff for IRNT. DWAC, on the other hand, it looks like we're maybe going to be finding some support back at our previous low of the day. We'll have to see. Ambition 2020 says GFAI. Let's take a look. GFAI, yeah, this is up big today, up 69% to $4. Let's see if we can't get it up to 420. Maybe we can. But it has been... Oh, wow, yeah, okay, so it looks like it just IPO'd or something. And over the past 10 days, it sank a little bit, but is making all-time highs today. So yeah, with these all-time high situations, sky is the limit. There is no resistance for them that's been identified previously. And on something this low market cap, 85 million, it could pump up quite a bit, right? It doesn't take much to move these stocks. You can see the volume on these stocks has been, or this stock in particular, has been incredibly low. Some minutes trading as low as 100 shares in the past. But now we're seeing a bit more volume. Now we're seeing several million shares being traded each every 10 minutes. So several 100,000 at least every minute. So yeah, a lot of people are now interested in this. So interesting one. Yeah, it is moving up, though. It does have potential. It does have some potential. And it looks like we've got 76 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 80. Let's try to bump it up to 80. We only need 4 more people. I'm sure, watching the analytics on my side, I can see that people are definitely, popping in and out. We definitely got some new people in the stream lately. So, watching the analytics actually is very interesting. I think that people see the concurrent viewers on your side. That's what you see, I think. You see about 82 concurrent viewers, but I end up seeing, how many people are joining and leaving. So it's very interesting to see that we've got some regulars who stick around, but we also definitely see a lot of people joining and leaving the stream. We've gotten about 500 clicks on the stream. So at some point, 500 people have clicked on this, and we've only been going for about an hour. But we've only got 86 that are still here at the moment. Now, a lot of those 86 are likely people who just joined in a couple of minutes ago and are about to leave, because the average watch time for this stream is 7 minutes. So I'm just letting you guys know about the analytics behind the stream if you guys were curious. But it would be very interesting to do some kind of experiment and see, what we could do, how many people would be in the stream, because we could potentially have 500 people watching right now if no one ever clicked off. It would be very interesting to see what would happen if we somehow coordinated everybody to not click off the stream. Now, Lucid dip, I was slow to get back in, thank God. Let's take a look at Lucid real quick. Yeah, Lucid has been dipping. Good thing you were slow to get back in on that. Noble H says, I'm sure we all appreciate the free knowledge you're dropping. Maybe consider setting up a way for viewers to donate to you if you're thinking about expanding your empire. Yeah, I may at some point. If someone does want to support the channel, there is a way to do that. It's not through a donation, though. It actually benefits you guys as well. I will show you. I will show you here. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, then something you can do is go to the description of any one of my videos. And, if you want free stocks, you can use these referral links to get free stocks. I also get free stocks from doing this. So, when you click on, say, the Webull referral link, you can click on that. You get 2 free stocks for signing up and making your first deposit of $1 or something like that. And I also get 2 free stocks from doing this. So these are referral links on the top of all of my video descriptions, you guys. You could get $30 with M1 Finance just for signing up for an account and depositing, I think, $100 is what they want you to do. But the important part about all of these with public as well is that you don't have to buy any stocks or sell any stocks or risk any money. All you have to do is deposit money onto the platform, and you get your free stock, and then you can get rid of, you can withdraw the money and sell the free stock that you got. So if anyone was interested in supporting the channel, that's the best way to do it. I like that because then I'm not taking something. I am giving you guys some value as well, right? You get access to a new brokerage platform, and get some free money from the free stock. So I've been here for an hour, says Paul Blackford. You are awesome. Yeah, Paul, yeah, I've seen you in many of the streams, so I appreciate you sticking with us. And your comments are much appreciated as well. So Manny C, I recognize you also. Let's go, Mark, up 20%, he says. Let's check. Yeah, Mark was just up 10% last we checked. So yeah, up to $2.50 at the highs. Really cool stuff with Mark. We looked at it when it was around $2.10 maybe. It had burst above 2, and that's actually a really good indication of it gaining back some of the support, right? Because support was at 2, and the fact that we were able to regain that is very bullish. Obviously, some people are taking this on as a momentum trade. It only has about a $200 million market cap, so that is definitely a play. Manny C, I'm glad you're making money on that. You have been asking about Mark for a while. Noble H says then maybe you could do something cool with it, like post a pool of stocks you would invest your donations into from the day. Yeah, that could be interesting, Noble H. I like that idea. And potentially we will do that in the future, right? Maybe once we get, let's say when we get to 10,000 subscribers, we'll work on something like that. How about that? Right now we're still, we've got 86 people in the stream. We can do better in the future. When we get 10,000 subscribers, we might work on some interesting gimmicks like that, right? Donating the money into certain stocks. That could be interesting. Joseph Agnello says, Mark is ripping right now. It's doing really well. We are having a little pullback right now, but speaking of a poll, Noble H, I will make a poll. I like to make these polls about what you guys are most bullish on the day. We'll include Mark in this poll. What stock? There we go. So what stock are you most bullish on today? That's what we'll do. And we'll include as the options DWAC. We'll include PHUN, PROG, and Mark. How about that? We'll include those. Well, let's see. Do we need to include PHUN? What's PHUN doing? It's just kind of trading very similarly to DWAC. So let's not include that. Let's replace DWAC with MARK. And we'll also talk about LCID. Lucid is doing incredibly well on the day. We'll show you guys that real quick. Oh, shoot. Well, we're still up 4%, but we were doing pretty well on the day, up above 40. And then PROG as well, because PROG is an interesting one that we're watching right now. So there we go. We've got this poll going up real quick. So the poll should be showing up any second. It should be showing up very quick. There we go. Now we'll pull back up PROG. Nice. Okay, so PROG just kind of bouncing around, just being volatile, not really doing too much. We're hoping to, at some point, either today, hopefully today, or sometime next week, get above 4, right? The longer that we're above 4, the more pressure it's going to put on those people who have been selling these call options, right? Likely institutions. I tend to think that individuals can't sell call options as readily, depending on what brokerage you're using. If you're using Robinhood, then I think the only option you have is to sell covered calls. You can't actually sell naked calls on Robinhood because they know it's very risky. If you use other brokerages, though, like Tastyworks, I do have a Tastyworks account, then you can sell naked calls. So it is interesting to see PROG not being too active today, but it's really good that PROG isn't dipping, right? The fact that PROG is able to maintain its level near all-time highs, if you look at the past, we'll look at the past 30 days, the fact that we haven't just gotten beaten down, as we often do with these short squeeze stocks, that shorts haven't just been able to destroy us. And we'll refresh the short data on Ortex right here, but you can see it's still very similar to what it was at the beginning of the day, down 2.28% on the day, short interest change-wise. So PROG is doing relatively well, right? The fact that shorts are covering a little bit is nice to see. It might mean that some shorts are getting worried about the pump potential that PROG has. But let's take a look at this poll. We've got 10 votes. A lot of people bullish on DWAC. Some people bullish on PROG. No one's voted for Mark or Lucid yet. I'm curious. We've only gotten 10 votes, but that means 8 are for DWAC and 2 are for PROG. Let's see if we can't get some more votes in that poll, because I am curious about that. I'm curious what you guys think the top performing stock will be. And speaking of top performing stocks, look at Tesla. Just made highs of 1,100. Really cool stuff. That's awesome. All-time highs of 1,100. Who thought they would have seen that day? Who thought it would have been in 2021 also? I mean, when people saw, when people were looking at Tesla a couple of months ago when it was down at $600, they probably thought it was going to be years before we returned to $900 price level, right? I was more bullish on Tesla. I thought that Tesla does have an almost cult following, which is very good for their stock. And they are led by Elon Musk, one of the best, the richest man in the world, actually, at the moment, and only becoming richer every minute, just becoming richer, it looks like, as Tesla price moves up. Really cool stuff for Elon, but one of the best entrepreneurs of this century. So, do I hold any Tesla? Yes, I do. I hold it both in a long-term account. In my M1 Finance, I hold some Tesla in the long term, just not going to touch it, do anything with it. I also hold some, a little bit in a swing account, on my public account, actually. The public account I had pulled up, it was that brokerage known as Public, which is where I hold Tesla. So, yeah, I have some Tesla there, and that's more of a swing account. I'm likely going to sell it sometime soon. Not on stream, but I might end up selling my Tesla today. But yeah, the Tesla market cap, $1.098 trillion market cap. So that actually adds up somewhat nicely. They must have about a billion shares outstanding. Look at that. They have a billion shares. So very cool. So that means that the market cap lines up very nicely with the price. You can see 1.09 trillion and $1,090. So because they have a billion shares, that's how that lines up. So very nice. Nice. Too rich for my blood, lol. Yeah, well, the great thing about both Public and M1 Finance and Robinhood now as well, a lot of brokerages, is that you can buy fractional shares as well. But yeah, Tesla is looking very expensive at the moment, so that's why I'm looking to sell, actually, my swing account. So yeah, I don't know if this is the best buy on Tesla. Potentially is. In the past, if you look back at the past 2 years, people probably thought, when Tesla pre-split was at $61 and they saw it run up to 160, it had about tripled almost tripled. When it was at 180, it probably tripled. And then it was dipping. They probably thought, oh, bad buy. And then when they saw it moving back up into $230, $260, oh, that's a good time to sell, right? That might be a similar thing to what we're experiencing right now, where we saw a massive run up and then a falling of the price. And now we're moving past the all-time highs. Tesla might keep going. It could. This is a very bullish chart over the past 2 years, from 61 to 1100. Very, very cool for Tesla. Over the past 3 years, somewhat similar, right? The lows were 35 over the past 3 years, but 5 years a month, yeah, it doesn't get much cheaper. It doesn't get much cheaper than 35. So, how are people bullish on DWAC when Trump's Rumble interview and tweets about have low like counts, no hype anymore, extreme hardcore fans? I'm still bag holding this mess, says R3 Drift. Yeah, I think that there are probably a lot of people, just because there isn't necessarily hype surrounding DWAC right now at the moment, just because it's not as hypey, doesn't mean that there aren't a lot of people who have heard about it. Let me pull up this chart right here, where we can compare another stock, TSLN. We'll compare Tesla stock. to DWAC. Tesla is another very popular one, right? So just because DWAC isn't currently being hyped up right now doesn't mean that it hasn't received a lot of hype. So this is a Google Trends analysis for DWAC stock versus Tesla stock, TSLA stock, or shoot, actually, I typed in TSLA DWAC. That made it look a lot more bullish for DWAC. But you can see that, before DWAC was a big thing, Tesla was trending fairly highly, and then Tesla actually started to make all-time highs. But DWAC got a ton of attention, a ton more attention, and is still getting more attention than Tesla stock, right? Tesla's the red line, DWAC is the blue line, so a lot of people are still interested in looking into DWAC stock, even opposed to Tesla stock, which we were just looking, has been making all-time highs recently. So a lot of people, and obviously, it's a massive company with $1 trillion market cap, you would expect a lot of people to be looking into Tesla stock when it's making all-time highs and shooting up multiple percentage points per day. But DWAC still has a lot more search volume, so I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for people to really start piling into DWAC. I think people want to buy the dips on it, which is at least what I've seen in the comments. A lot of people have been talking about waiting for some dips to buy in, and that's understandable. That's a solid strategy, especially if you're looking for a buy and hold. That is a very solid strategy. Anthony Gonzalez, Mark looks like it is going to break out. Let's take a look at Mark. It was breaking out last we checked. It was doing very well. Yeah, so we got up to 250 at the highs, and now we've subsided a little bit down to 225. So we're going to see. We've got 99 viewers and 91 likes, 100 viewers. Let's see if we can't get 100 likes. It should be possible, I think, to get 100 likes, but MARK is doing pretty well, and they are doing decently. Now, I will point out that DWAC has been suffering a little bit. It's near the lows of the day, as is PROG. This is potentially just because we are having a tough day in the markets. I'll pull that up for you guys. I'll show you the market data. But it's not looking the best for stocks on this Friday. Unfortunately, not every day is a green day, but I will pull up the market data, and you can see it is a very mixed bag and a lot more red than we would like to see overall for the markets, right? Amazon and Apple both down almost 4% each. Very little bright green, right? AbbVie is green, Nvidia is kind of green, Tesla and Facebook are green, but there's a lot more red than we typically like to see in the markets. This is potentially just a risk-off day, and we can look at some indicators of why that might be. It looks like the dollar is actually gaining some strength. We'll pull that up here, the dollar. Maybe we can even pull that up like that. Yeah, so people are more ready to hold their dollars today. It looks like if you look over the past 5 days, yesterday was a huge risk-on day. People were dumping their dollars, getting other assets. Now people are moving back into the dollar. This is the dollar strength index, right? So over the past year, you can see that we have been on a bit of a crazy ride, but over the past 2 years, we've not been doing great. However, on the short term, this is a decent indicator of people selling for Halloween candy, says Edward Green. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but people are currently wanting more dollars, basically, right? They think that that assets might be moving down. You can see that in the S&P. The S&P is moving down a little bit. Doesn't show too well right here, but if you look over the past 5 days, we are down 0.32%. It looks like we had a bit of a rally early morning, but now we're back on the way down. The VIX is up. People are expecting a little bit more market volatility. If you look over the past 30 days, we have been trending up slightly every day, making for potentially a big V pattern, right? The VIX, this tracks market volatility. It's a market volatility index. So people have been scared as of late, right? The VIX is up 2.42%. So that is showing in the market, which we just looked at, the S&P map. A lot of people are selling stocks today, right? Especially Amazon and Apple. That's probably what's dragging down the markets in general, right? The markets are getting hurt by those. Those are very big players. If we look at Amazon and Apple, and market cap-wise, we can see that Amazon is a $1.64 trillion market cap. Apple has a very close to that, I believe, $2.43 trillion. That's insane. Apple is a massive company. It's been a while since I looked at Apple. I remember back in the day, a couple of years ago, it must have been then, when Apple was just breaking $1 trillion market cap, and we were getting some of the first companies breaking the $1 trillion market caps. Now we've got them. Is it cool to share your live stream link on StockTwits, Noble H? Yes, absolutely. That would be much appreciated. Anyone who wants to join is free to join. The more places this is shared, I appreciate that. So feel free to share. Yeah, much appreciated. So yeah, and if anyone wants to share this with their friends or anything like that, I think it's nice that we're building a little community here every morning. So I find these streams to be very fun and very, very educational as well. Not just in the sense that I'm sharing information with you guys, but that I am learning from you all as well. So thank you guys very much. And if anyone wants to share, feel free. But I also like to look at gold a little bit, right? Because gold, I think, is a decent indicator of how people are feeling about inflation and how people's fears about the future are, right? Typically, you hear people talking about gold. They'll buy gold because they expect there to be some kind of apocalypse. So you can see, obviously, over the past 2 years, gold has increased in price a bit as people became more worried. Shared on Reddit, DWAC stock says, Kitchener Leslie, yeah, thank you. And as people have become more worried potentially about the pandemic and about all this money printing that's going on, gold has risen in price over the past 2 years, and recently it's stagnated, which doesn't make much sense, right? I think that potentially there's some manipulation. Obviously, people talk a lot about the gold markets being manipulated, the precious metals markets, silver as well, because a lot of people are, bankers, and they're willing to manipulate with paper money, right? They don't actually end up having physical gold to deliver, but sometimes they'll just sell gold futures that they don't actually have, and everything will be settled in cash, so they're able to manipulate gold down. And if you actually, if you're interested in real precious metals and all that, investing in those, there is a very interesting thing that you'll notice when you actually go to buy them. The premiums that are charged on precious metals to buy, it costs a lot more than the spot price of gold to buy gold, and it costs more than the spot price of silver to buy silver because there just isn't enough physical supply. There really isn't enough physical stuff, especially silver, because silver is used in a lot of industrial processes. It's used in batteries, and we can take a look at the silver chart right here. But it has been widely used in industrial processes, so there really just isn't enough. Gold and silver doesn't make any sense with inflation where it is. Yeah, Zach Taylor says, yeah, I agree. I think they should be moving a whole lot higher. They should be moving up. They've had a decent past couple of years, but I think they should be much higher than where they are. Rob, can you check again BKKT now? You talked in PR, maybe pre-market mean. So yeah, we'll look at BKKT. Okay, BKKT. Up 13% on the day. This is actually exactly what we want to see, right? What we really want is to get above $31 because if you look back at the past couple of days, you can see that 31 acted as a key resistance for us, right? We tried breaking above 31 several times here, and then we couldn't even get to 31 this time. We just started dipping before then, as well as the fact that 31 on the initial day of the BKKT pump is where we closed. Very close to it at least. 31, I think, is going to act as a key level. Potentially, you could make the argument and say, oh, it's $30 that's going to act as the resistance. But I think 31 is a bit of a more solid indicator of, if we can get above that and stay above that and hold for a little bit, we could be ready for the next leg up on BKKT. But it's very good to see that we are up about 12% on the day, 11.2%. That's very nice. PROG is bouncing off of its pre-market lows also. I should mention that. That we just hit a bounce on PROG off of the pre-market lows from $33.68. We just bounced off of that. Hopefully we don't move below that, right? We want to see PROG moving up. Ideally, we wouldn't struggle with 50 cents again. We wouldn't use that as a support again. What we want is to start using $4 as a resistance and eventually use it as a support if we can get above it. So we've got a couple of comments. Mohammed Sadiq says, hi, why does GNUS keep falling even after good news and was halted for 2 hours before market open Wednesday? So we'll take a look at GNUS. That's an interesting story, what happened with GNUS. So they initially pumped up massively, right? Because they put out news that they had some positive business development that they wanted to share with people. And then I forget what the actual news was. So here we go. So GNUS announced that they had a positive business development that they were going to reveal on Wednesday, which they actually ended up tanking on Wednesday. But they pumped up massively on Monday on expectation of this news, right? That's often the pattern that we'll see: buy the rumor, sell the news. So they did pump up massively. They moved up from around $1.30 to $2.57. and then they trended down a little bit, but consolidated the day after. Now, they were halted in the pre-market right before Wednesday, likely because the SEC may have been worried about some kind of market manipulation going on. The fact that it pumped up so much on the fact that they said they had positive business news. You know, typically a company would just come out and say we have a conference going on, and then let the market do what it wanted off of that and release the news. And if people thought it was positive, then they'd buy the stock. But it seemed a little bit like almost a manipulation on the shareholders' parts, potential, or maybe, you know, whoever was in charge of GNUS. It seemed like a little bit of manipulation, the fact that they touted it as a positive business development. And then when they released the news was that they had acquired an animation producer, the company WOW. So yeah, they acquired animation producer WoW Unlimited Media for about $66 million or $53 million in US dollars in cash and stock. So it wasn't that great for the company, right? It was positive, but they ended up tanking a bit on the news. They're still above where they were trading before, but not by much, right? They were trading around lows of $1.30. Now they're at $1.40. So most of the hype is worn off. That's what happened with GNUS. I like GNUS a lot as a long play. Yeah, it could be a good long play. I know it's very popular on Robinhood. It's one of the top trending stocks there. And I have held shares of GNUS before. I don't believe I have any now, but yeah, over the past year, it looks like it's been doing decently, right up 40% about on the year. So definitely a good play if you're holding it long term. And it is an interesting trade, right? Because if you can get in at these sub $2 levels, then it's often, you know, spiked up above 2, and you can potentially get some good sells. There have been many opportunities to do that over the past year. And let's see what happened over the past 2 years. Yeah, so there have been some great opportunities over the past 2 years, going all the way from lows of 5 cents to $11.73. So yeah, there have been some potential big pumps on GNUS that you could have gotten a lot of money off of. So Ambition 2020 says IRNT dip. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it is dipping. Let's see what the Ortex data is showing. Let's see what the Ortex data is showing. If it's getting heavily shorted or what. I'm curious. So, okay, it looks like there are some more shorts coming into IRNT. Looks like the short interest change is up 9% on the day, bringing us to 21% short interest as a percentage of the free float, 97% utilization, so very high. But IRNT is dipping a little bit. Now we're down. We're below 13. Looked like 13 ended up acting as a resistance for us. So we'll see if we can't get back above that. But it's not looking great, right? Looking at the past, we'll look at the past day, and we'll show you guys what happened with IRNT at $13 yesterday. They struggled a lot with it. They kept playing this game where they first they were bouncing off of it, but then they actually started bouncing down off of 13. So you can see the red line at 13 right here. They used it as a support before moving below and just playing with it several times. They would go below, move up, go below, move up, go below, and then they barely got up this last time before moving down. So, yeah, IRNT, unfortunately, it looks like $13 has beaten it, as have the shorts. The shorts are relentless. Yeah, that is unfortunate, but that doesn't mean it can't bounce back. You know, it was fundamental news that this company was pumping on. If you look, it was their partnership with Microsoft that actually made the company pump up so much, and that's still a thing, right? They haven't ended the partnership with Microsoft. That's still going on, so there's still the chance. There's still the chance that they could come back. We hope. We hope. Zach Taylor says, do you use Ortex primarily for short interest? Yes, that's primarily what I use it for. Sometimes I will show you. Sometimes you can get some other information on a stock, right? If you click on the stock, see the market cap, the outstanding shares, all that. There is news here as well, though I don't find it to always be the best. You know, sometimes it's decent to hear about the news here, but you can also see, you know, insider selling and buying. It's interesting, but I tend to just use it for the short data because I think it's the most reliable platform putting the short data out there. And it is somewhat expensive, right? It's $80 a month, but I think it's worth it to get accurate data because let me show you guys something interesting. Let's see if we can't find it on MarketWatch. So we'll look at the short data for two different stocks. Let's look at one for, let's see if we can't do PROG. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the difference in data that you get off of Ortex versus what you get off of other platforms like MarketWatch. And I'm not bashing MarketWatch, but if you look at MarketWatch right here, this is looking at PROG stock, a popular stock a lot of us are talking about on the channel. So the percent of float shorted that it shows for PROG stock is 19.94% on MarketWatch, right? And then when you actually go to Ortex, you see the real short interest as a percentage of the free float, 48.88%. So more than double the number that we have on MarketWatch. So very interesting to see that MarketWatch is just basically very outdated, I think that was the decision that we came to, that MarketWatch was very outdated. I used to use MarketWatch on the channel, but it was pointed out to me that they use old data and probably just don't work very hard to get the actual short interest. But yeah, Ortex has a much more reliable short interest. It updates on the day. You can see the change on the day. MarketWatch just isn't great for that kind of stuff, in my opinion. So that is why I started using Ortex, even though it's a little bit expensive. Cody Party, Rob, you're handsome. Thank you for the free education. Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate the comment. Thank you very much. And Mohammed Sadiq says OCGN running now. Let's take a look at that. OCGN. Yeah, it is up 8.8%. Yeah, it's had a couple of these pumps. It took a little dip. It might take a respite sometime soon around 1150. It might end up using that as a little resistance. It might take a little breather, move back. It could continue doing another pump. But I know this one has been very popular on StockTwits. If we take a look, I'll pull up the StockTwit data. I'm curious if it's still ranking as one of the most active. But yeah, it is. It's up there with Lucid and SHIB, the two stars of the show right now. But OCGN ranking in at number 3 most active on StockTwits. This is a big StockTwits stock. That's typically the only place that I tend to see it. I haven't seen too much of a mention about it on Reddit or Wall Street Bets, but we will check just to see what's trending. Let's see if we can't find OCGN. Yeah, so here's the interesting thing. You see OCGN on StockTwits, and it's the number 3 most active stock on StockTwits, and this just shows you the difference between the platforms. Then you go on apewisdom.io. This tracks the most popular stocks on Reddit. Lucid's number 1. Lucid is also very high up on StockTwits as well. But OCGN, if you want to find it, it's down at number 25. Ocugen right here, with only 63 mentions and 228 upvotes. So not many people talking about it on Reddit. Shows you the difference in the communities. A lot of people on Reddit are more interested in squeeze plays, and it looks like StockTwits might be more about momentum. So interesting to see. And I'm actually curious about the short interest on Ocugen. Let's see what that is. I'm curious. Okay, so it's a relatively high short interest actually. So 31%. That's interesting to see. It has just been climbing. So yeah, maybe we'll start taking more of a look at this. I haven't taken OCGN too seriously, but a lot of people are interested. A lot of people are interested in OCGN on StockTwits at least. So maybe I'll make some OCGN videos after I research it a little bit more. Right? I have not looked too far into it, but I know it is one of the very popular stocks out there, and it is pumping a little bit today. Yeah, so I might start covering this in the future if people are interested. NC Quasi, what do you think about XRP? It says it's been suspended since January 2020. XRP, isn't that Ripple? Yeah, it's not a stock. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the crypto XRP that you're talking about. I'll pull up IRNT right here just to have something on the chart while I look at that. So let me take a look at CoinMarketCap and see if we can't find XRP. It's right here. So yeah, Ripple, it's suspended. Why is it suspended? Suspended in what way? It says it's been suspended since January 2020. Let's see. XRP suspended. Okay, let's see. So here's something about Ripple. SEC charges Ripple and 2 executives with conducting $1.3 billion unregistered securities offering. The Securities and Exchange Commission announced today that and this is back in December of 2020, so announced that it has filed an action against Ripple Labs and 2 of its executives who are significant security holders, alleging that they raised over $1.3 billion through an unregistered ongoing digital asset security offering. According to the SEC's complaint, Ripple, the company's co-founder, executive chairman of its board, and founder CEO, raised capital to finance the company's business. The complaint alleges that Ripple raised funds beginning in 2013 through the sale of digital assets known as XRP and an unregistered securities offering to investors in the US and worldwide. Ripple also allegedly distributed billions of XRP in exchange for non-cash consideration such as labor and market-making services. According to the complaint, in addition to structuring and promoting the XRP sales used to finance the company's business, the people also affected personal unregistered sales of XRP totaling around 600 million. So it sounds like the SEC or the SEC is upset with Ripple because they were using it. They were I guess selling it more so as a security than a cryptocurrency, which cryptocurrencies are unregulated. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I was unaware that there was a halt on it. I can't imagine why the market cap of it is still so large, and that's interesting though. Very, very cool. Very cool stuff. So it still looks like it's trading, though, because in the past 24 hours, it's up 1%, and past 7 days, it's down 1.66%. It looks like it's fairly stable. I've not watched XRP that much. So, yeah, it has been pretty volatile, but over the past couple of months, not too much action. There have been a couple of little pumps and dumps, but that's interesting. Yeah, I was unaware of that. Thank you for pointing it out. I was not aware that they were being investigated by the SEC, and potentially they're not anymore. But that was in 2020, December of 2020, that they covered that. But thank you very much, NC Quasi. That is very interesting. So bought DWAC at 72. Should I sell if it falls below 65? Let's start taking a look at the charts again. We haven't seen the charts in a bit. So 65. If that's the trade you want to take, that is a good stop loss to have, right? The fact that I think if we do end up really tanking with DWAC, I think the lows that we might see before another rebound would be $50, because that is where we ended up finding some resistance on the initial day of the pump, right? We pumped up to around 50, found some resistance there, and I think that's a likely point at which we could return to. Now, we'll have to see, obviously. It's not guaranteed that 50 would act in a strong way, or that we'll even get as low as 50. So if you did sell out at 65, it's possible 65 would be the bottom, right? Or maybe 60. But that's not a bad idea to keep a tight stop loss on things if you're looking at it as a trade. Especially, if you have a higher buy-in price like 72. My buy-in price for DWAC is $24.18. So I'm up about 6K total, and I'm not worried about the price dropping significantly because I won't be losing money for a very long way down, right? I won't be losing money until this thing gets to like 20 something bucks. So it has a long way to go. But yeah, if you are worried about protecting your capital, then 65 might be a good stop loss. But this isn't personalized advice. It's just my opinion. And Mohammed Sadiq, OCGN expecting the World Health Organization approval for COVID vaccine next week. They delayed the news twice. Was $13 on news expectation, then delayed and went back to $8.50. Yeah, that's right. We have talked about OCGN in the past. That just refreshed my memory. Yeah, they are waiting for. We were looking at the news, and they were talking about their COVID vaccine. So yeah, that's right. That's why OCGN was pumping. Sorry guys, there are a lot of stocks out there, a lot of catalysts, a lot of news, and I do not remember everything. So that's right. We had talked about that. I think in even the last stream we might have discussed why OCGN was pumping. But yeah, it is on the vaccine news. So looks like we've got 112 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 120. We've got 110 viewers right now. I bet we could bump it up to 120. It shouldn't be too tough. Only 8 more likes that we would need on the stream, and it's always much appreciated, guys. Whenever you like the stream, I really appreciate that. We've been getting really good about it. I've noticed, I've hardly had to ask when we start the stream. A ton of people are just liking it right off the bat. They're in the waiting room liking it. I appreciate that a lot. I really appreciate the support because it does help get the stream out to more people. So, Shay Lee Manhattan says, what's going on with Mark? Mark Holdings, yeah, look, we have been watching Mark. We watched it get to 250. It may be above that now. Nope. Yeah, so it did bump up to 250 and has since been dipping. We're going to have to see, though. This was potentially a great exit point for a lot of people. They'd been looking at their holdings potentially dwindling over the past while. Depending on where they bought in, they may have been down on money. They may have actually had the opportunity to get out profitably. But you can see it's no surprise, that we are seeing a lot of selling pressure at 250 because a bunch of people the past 2 days have been buying below then. And once we really got above 240, That's when a lot of people were actually in the green. They were looking at this thing. They may have been buying it in the 220s and saw it drop below 2, all the way down to 180 yesterday near the close. And people were probably looking to take some profits on MARK. They wanted to secure that bag. They don't want to be bag holders. But some people obviously are waiting for a bigger pump. If you look over the past 10 days, this thing was trading upwards of $9 at a certain point in after hour or in pre-market, the initial day of the pump. So a lot of people may have even been buying in during the actual trading day that day, hoping that it would rise again around 3 or 4. So people like that are still out of the money a little bit. They're still waiting for a bigger pump on Mark. And we're going to have to see if that can happen. Shaylin Manhattan says, Mark, yes. Mark is doing good. Thank you for the thoughts. Thinking of holding. I feel like it's going to $10 soon. Maybe. We didn't quite get to $10 last pump. That was tough. Though, if we really saw, a confirmation that Mark is tied to DWAC, because I will pull this up. Yesterday, we made a video talking about this. And I think, let's see if we can't find, here we go. So here it is. So the reason that Mark stock is up so big is because this penny stock has been linked to Trump's company following rumors on Reddit about a potential 5-year contract signed with the president's organization. So that's why Mark stock pumped initially, right? Why it moved up to almost $10 last time. So if we got a confirmation that that was true, and then DWAC started moving up big, then I think Mark would be moving up in a massive way, right? If we got DWAC up to some of the heights that people are thinking it could go to, above 100, above 200, maybe to 3, 4, or 5, then we could really see Mark absolutely moving above 10 if we got that kind of confirmation and then action in DWAC. I think that would be really good for Mark. So, any good words on PHUN or CRTD? Thanks in advance, says JD Gauze. Yeah, so let's look at PHUN first. We were looking at that earlier today. It's looking like it's having a fairly bearish day, a little bit more bearish than DWAC. DWAC is down 5%. PHUN is down 8%. And this is, following the trend that we've been watching for a while. It tends to trade in sympathy with DWAC. On green days, they tend to both be green. On red days, they tend to both be red, but PHUN tends to be a little bit less green and a little bit more red on both of those days. You can see, if you look at the past 10 days, we'll zoom in on this, what's happened with it. So right around here is where we want. So you can see that, yeah, we were up actually more percentage-wise off of the lows of PHUN than we were off of the lows of DWAC. We only about 17x'd from $10 to $175 with DWAC, but we about 24x'd from $1 to $24 with PHUN. So it ended up being an initially really great play where you could have made a ton of money if you got in on it early. But DWAC has since been performing a little bit better. You can see that we ended up uptrending a little bit more lately. We've been on a little bit of an uptrend the past couple of days. PHUN has been more stagnant, and if anything, we've been downtrending a little, just slightly. So it's unfortunate to see that, but potentially, if we see some really green days with DWAC, we could see some really green days with PHUN as well. Especially, we can also pull up the article again. Let's see, where do we have that article? I think I may have gotten rid of it, but we'll pull up. Here we go. We'll pull up the article again because that same article that was talking about Mark stock was talking about PHUN. So PHUN stock was pumping. The reason that PHUN was pumping is because it was at one point tied to the Trump-Pence re-election campaign, and it's speculated that there might be another partnership, and thus they gained a lot of value, right? It's speculated that they might have a partnership with Trump Media Corporation. So here we go. We have the article twice. Interesting. Okay, Mohammed Sadiq, do you not have opinion of getting donations from people listening to you like other YouTubers would be good for you as you are helping others get knowledge on trading? Yeah. Maybe we'll do that at some point. If anyone here, I'll point this out though, because this is the second time we've heard about donations on the channel. I don't accept donations currently, and maybe in the future, but maybe around 10K we could start doing it as we get the channel a little bit bigger. But if anyone is interested in supporting the channel, I offer everyone the opportunity to actually support the channel and get some free stocks at the same time using the links in the description of this video. In this live stream, in any one of my videos, you can, if you want free stocks, use these referral links. And there's no reason not to use these because they're literally giving you free stocks to activate your account. If you click on these, you get 2 free stocks from Webull. You can click on M1 Finance, you get a free $30 for signing up, and I think you make a $100 initial deposit. You get a free $30 from M1 Finance. Webull, you get up to $2,300 on if you make, if you got really lucky with both of those free stocks. We got Public, you get up to $70 for free if you use the referral code RobAlmazy when you sign up, and up to $500 on Robinhood if you get lucky when you claim your free stock there. So if you guys want, you can make brokerage accounts at these places. I have brokerage accounts with all of them. I like all of those brokerages. I find them to be decent brokerages, and they offer you the option to get free stocks as well as support the channel. So if anyone was interested in donating, that's the best way to do it at the moment. But maybe a 10K will make a way to donate a little bit if you guys are still interested in that. But at the moment, I'm still getting used to streaming, and I'm sure that I'll improve over time, and the donations are likely to be more justified at that point once I've really gotten it down pretty good. So, right now I'm still just learning how to stream. I'm not trying to take donations at the moment. But if you want to support the channel and get some free stocks, feel free to do it with the links in the description. So AIDA stock says Kitchener Leslie. AIDA. It's taking a second to load. Looks like it's a very low priced stock, below a penny it looks like, unless this is out of date. But it looks like it might be trading below a penny. AIDA, or AIAD, my bad. AIAD, sorry about that. It looks like it's trading at 2 cents. So, yeah, I like these stocks that are low price. They provide a lot of opportunity. AIAD. AIAD advertising. Interesting. So, yeah, $23 million market cap. Now, these stocks are really promising, but also very risky because you risk being delisted. Oftentimes, I think, depending on the... Okay, it's an OTC stock, actually. Never mind. I was going to say on the NASDAQ. If you're trading on the NASDAQ, then by a certain date, you have to be above $1 in price per share. So it oftentimes leads to companies doing reverse splits and you losing a bunch of your shares. Zach Taylor says, off to a great start, perhaps consider dual streaming on Rumble too. Yeah, I upload my videos to Rumble. I'm not sure how to stream on Rumble. I would definitely do that if it's just a couple of extra clicks. I would definitely do that. I figure, Rumble provides a lot of people with, the opportunity for free speech and whatnot, so I may as well provide my videos there as well, because I know a lot of people use it, but I might consider streaming on Rumble. Okay, now, let's get back to AIDA. So yeah, this is a very promising opportunity, right? Anytime you see a stock that's this cheap and this low market cap, if you know about the fundamentals of the company, which I do not, this is the first time I'm hearing of it, it provides a great opportunity to potentially make massive returns. You can make a lot of money on these, but they're very risky, especially this is OTC, over the counter. It's not on the NASDAQ. And, you can potentially make money with it, but you're going to have to be wary, right? It has pumped up quite a bit. It was trading at around 1 cent, 1.2 cents, not too long ago. So the fact that it's now trading at 2, there is the potential for further downside. Let's see what catalyst came out that pumped this thing on the 26th. Nothing that we know of. Nothing on this. Yeah, okay. So no real big news, at least not that was reported on the major news sites. So yeah, it might have just been a pump up in price, and that's easy to do. It's easy to manipulate these really low market cap stocks, $23 million market cap. So very easy to manipulate those. Okay, so supposedly tied to Brad Parscale. Interesting. I'm not sure who Brad Parscale is, but that could be explaining a bit of this pump. Maybe it is. Let's take a look at Lucid real quick just to see what's going on, because we have been watching Lucid all day. For the most part, we've been watching Lucid, and it looks like we're finally consolidating a little bit, right? We're not as volatile as we once were. DWAC, on the other hand, is making its way back up towards 70. Hopefully, we can regain that level. PROG is struggling at 368. We're going to try to stay above that if we fix this line a little bit. Hopefully we can get back above 368. We did see a lot of volume when we started breaking through, but we're also seeing a lot of buying pressure, right? The fact that this massive volume hasn't been able to just shoot us down, the fact that we're still above the lows of the pre-market right now, at least, is very good. We don't want to get down to 350, but if we did, we could hopefully use that as a support for PROG. So, Matt's Market. Hey, man, I'm a YouTuber myself and really appreciate the great content you're putting out. You're a genuine person that's clearly here to help people and not here for super chats. Would love to have you on my show. Yeah, I will look into that, Matt. Thank you very much. San Diego, IRNT, thoughts? So San Diego? Well, let's look at IRNT. We've been watching this for a while. So yeah, it was looking really good in early morning trading. However, since we subsided, it's not great. We can actually see if we go to Ortex, what happened with IRNT. It has gotten shorted pretty heavily. This number has just been increasing throughout the day as we've looked. More and more shorts have been piling in. I think last we checked, it was around 10%. In the morning, it was up around 6%, and now it's 14%. So shorts are obviously doubling down on the IRNT positions. That's not news to us, right? If you looked over the past couple of days, you could see up 26% on the initial day of the pump. Shorts were building up their position, shorting at probably some lower prices, but higher prices as well. Then shorts really pushed us down in pre-market and during the trading day yesterday, and it looks like we tried to have a little bit of a rebound here. However, shorts doubled down as soon as they realized what was going on. So, unfortunately, shorts are the ones keeping this down. You can tell based off the Ortex. A lot of new shorts coming in, just selling shares. So, let's see. IRNT. So, independence all. My DWACW average is $40. Decent. Let's take a look at the DWACW. We covered this in a video yesterday. So 40, obviously, it's not ideal considering that it's not above 40, but not horrible, right? You still have some intrinsic value in this company, and we explain this in our DWAC video that we released yesterday. It was kind of late in the day though, so some of you guys may have missed it. But basically, DWACW, I will pull this up. DWACW is potentially going to be a good play for a lot of people. We'll look at the warrants. So I explained this in a video yesterday, but DWACW stands for DWAC warrants, are similar to options, okay? And if you look, I'll show you real quick, just so you have the two charts. You have the two charts right here. I'll pull this out to the 10-day as well so that it lines up. But you can see that it trades very similarly to DWAC, right? Slightly differently based off of the supply and demand. But warrants are similar to options but can't be exercised until 30 days after the Trump merge deal completes. So essentially when DWAC becomes TMTG. So that's important to note. Or 1 year after the DWAC listing, which happened in September of this year. So it would have to be sometime in September 2022 that you could exercise these warrants. But they act very similarly to options. DWACW has an exercise price of $11.50. So, consider this to be an option essentially, right? Exercise price of $11.50. Hopefully you guys know options terminology and you'll understand this, right? But that means that the intrinsic value of the warrants equals the price of DWAC minus the $11.50 exercise price, right? So if you actually look at the price of DWAC right now, it's at $68. And if you subtract $11 from that or $11.50, whatever you want, it adds up to about $57. So these warrants really have an intrinsic value at the moment, if everything remained the same, if the prices of these two things remain the same, or mainly if the price of DWAC remained the same for either until the merger, just throughout the whole process, until 30 days after that point, right, when you can actually exercise the warrants, that means the warrants would actually be worth $57 at that time. So still getting in at a decent price. The warrants are a decent buy at this point for the intrinsic value in them. However, if DWAC does move down, if it moves down below $11.50, there's always the chance that the warrants will expire worthless. So they are a little bit riskier, and that is to be taken into account, right? They're also a bit more volatile. You can see that they moved up quite a bit more percentage-wise. If you look at this, we'll take a look at how DWAC and DWACW moved up on both of these on the initial days of the pump, right? They opened up on the day of the first day that this thing really pumped. They opened up around $12. DWAC opened up around 12, and then went to 175. So that actually represented. Let's get rid of this. That actually represented about a 1,174% increase in the stock price. And DWACW, the warrants, opened up around 344 and moved up to 79.22, which represented a 2,180% increase in the stock price. So the warrants were a bit more volatile. They provided some more upside. They're a little riskier because if DWAC ends up trading below $11.50, the warrants are absolutely worthless. But there is still some intrinsic value baked into them at the moment. So not the worst thing to get in on right now. And I'm looking at the poll. We've got the poll going on. What stocks are you most bullish on today? We've got over 100 votes. DWAC has 44% of those votes. So 44% of people think DWAC is going to be the most bullish stock today. 16% say Mark, 23% say Lucid, and 17% say PROG. So let me get back through the comments. I was explaining that for a bit, so I missed some comments. But Zach Taylor, DWAC may be forming a golden triangle on the day. Yeah, so it might be. But I am not the best with those kinds of patterns. I tend to not pay too much attention to patterns or whatever. I'm not entirely sure what a golden triangle is. Oftentimes I think, if you can identify them, they can potentially be useful. I tend to care more about support and resistance because I know that those act fairly similarly for all stocks, right? If you can identify some key levels, they're likely going to continue playing off of the support and resistance. That's just how the algorithms work. The patterns are a bit tougher to identify, so I tend to not, spend my time memorizing them and whatnot. I think that they're a little bit difficult, but they're potentially profitable, if you know how to trade them well. Brad Parscale, Trump campaign manager, says Kitchener Leslie. Okay, so that could be good. That could be good. Now, let's see. Do you have a Discord, says Matt's Market? Not yet. No, I do not. San Diego, investing into Dominion Voting Company while we're at it. Yeah, right. We've all heard about that. Okay, been wondering what was cooking with ATER. All right, so ATER. Looks like we're pumping up a little bit, but on what news? So no news came out that we've seen. This was a recent development, though, so it might be coming out soon if these companies update their news. Now, it doesn't look like there's anything too big, just some volume, just some trading volatility. METX is the next CEI. I hope, says Matthew. I hope so. Let's look at METX. I think we made highs of day today. Yeah, so up to 70, almost 75 cents per share with METX. It's possible that it could be the next CEI. We'll have to see what happens with it, right? If Zach Morris starts tweeting about this one, that could be good. That's always good for a stock. METX we'll look at on Yahoo Finance, find the market cap. Yeah, so it's moved up since we last checked, but still under $100 million market cap. Still very volatile, still a lot of upside potential. Very possible that it will be doing very well. On the day, Zach Taylor says, yeah, PHUN reversal. Let's go. Let's take a look at PHUN. Let's hope for a reversal, I suppose. Yeah. Down about 8, almost 9% on the day. So not ideal, but DWAC is down 5.65. So yeah, it's still following that pattern of being slightly more bullish than DWAC. You can kind of see that when DWAC is moving down, if we zoom in a little bit more, in early morning, they were both moving down a bit. Then there was a rebound in both. And then DWAC moved down, as did PHUN. And it just wasn't able to continue kind of consolidating and trending upwards slightly, like DWAC was, right? It ended up just consolidating stagnantly around 435 to 440. So hopefully PHUN will rebound. Zach Taylor says, ex-Trump campaign manager, let go for public drunkenness. Interesting. And I think that's talking about, who was that guy? Brad Parscale. Okay, interesting. All right, guys, now I'm actually about to grab some more water real quick, so I will be right back real quick. Feel free to like the video while I'm gone. Keep watching the charts. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We're back. We're live again. All right, so what has been said since I left? Shiba is up, says Ambition 2020. Climbing Shiba. All right, we'll take a look at that. Noble H says XELA, one of my only few green stocks today. Any thoughts? We will look at that also. So XELA, we'll take a look at Shiba in a second because we have looked at Shiba several times already. But XELA over the past 30 days. Okay, so it is up 5.8% for today. It was up more during pre-market, though, up above 2. That would be nice to regain that level. That's probably a strong psychological support for a lot of people. Might be acting as resistance now, but $2 could be important for this one. I don't know if I've looked at this stock before. Let's see the market cap on it. Let's see the market cap. Accela Technologies. So relatively low, right? Under $1 billion is low. So $300 million market cap, and I like these low market cap stocks because they're the ones that I think over the long term have the potential to explode a ton, right? When you're looking at a market cap of over $1 billion, obviously it can do pretty well, but it's really tough to climb from billion to 2 billion. It's much easier to climb from 300 million to 600 million. It takes much less capital to be inserted into that kind of a company to boost the market cap up. So the fact that it's a low market cap is very nice. Let's see if we can't figure out what exactly they do. Okay, so it's a global business process automation company. It was created with the merger of Source HOV and Novitech Holdings and Quinparino Acquisition Corp. Interesting. So business automation company, that sounds good. That sounds like the future to me, right? That sounds like a good industry to be in. And the fact that it is a low market cap, very promising, right? So yeah, that seems like a good one. That's a good stock. Thank you for calling that out, Noble H. Over the past year, it's been doing decently well too, right? It was down around $1. Now it's around $2. It has had some pumps, so it's potentially a good trade as well. If you're interested in just buying and holding, waiting for this thing to, 3 or 4x. We might see that, right? We've been up to 5 over the past year, as well as 782. So there is some potential for this company. Now, even fundamentally, it seems like a decent business to be in, business automation. I'm not sure too specifically what this company does, but the fact that it's a low market cap in an industry of the future seems very promising. And the fact that it is rising over the past year. If you look at the past 2 years, doing decently as well, right? It was as low as 26 cents. Now it's up at $2. So that is good. That is good. They did a reverse stock split at one point, it looks like, though. Okay. So that's not great. I don't like to see the reverse stock splits, but they were likely below $1 at that point and needed to do it to stay listed. Now they're above $1, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so now we will look at Shiba Inu because that is something that has been pumping lately, and a lot of people are interested in it. So let's see. We can see where it stands. It's up 8% on the day, $41 billion market cap. Wow, yeah, it has been taking off. It was just at $38 billion this morning earlier when we were looking at it. And Dogecoin is at $37 billion. So Shiba Inu is doing incredibly well. That's really good. If we look at the chart, I'm sure it'll show something somewhat impressive. Yep. It's just been shooting up over the past little bit. Yeah, so maybe we'll be getting to all-time highs today. We're still a ways off. But it isn't out of the question, right? Shiba Inu has obviously been getting a ton of attention lately, both on on pretty much every platform, right? On Reddit, on YouTube, on Google, StockTwits even has been talking about Shiba Inu coin. We'll take a look at that real quick. Let's pull up the StockTwits. Well, let's also. I've never actually looked at Shiba Inu coin on Google Trends, I don't think. So let's see. What is the coin? SHIB. Let's just see how many people are searching for SHIB over the past 12 months. Google wants me to confirm that I'm human, no problem. So, over the past, 90 days, if we look at this, this could be very good on Google Trends if you're looking for SHIB. You can see that we have more recently, over the past couple of days, been shooting up. We had an initial spike on October 7th. We could be making all-time highs search-wise for SHIB. A lot of people might want to get in. They may feel that they missed out on Dogecoin. It's my feeling that a lot of people think that Shiba Inu coin is actually a lot cheaper than Dogecoin when you see the price of the coin, right? because it is such a small price in comparison. Dogecoin is 28 cents. This is a fraction of a cent, even though it has a larger market cap. So that does almost deceive people in a way. I think a lot of people who aren't looking at the market caps for these things don't realize that Shiba Inu coin is already worth more than Dogecoin, considering how many there are. However, if there are a bunch of holders of it who are just unwilling to sell, then it essentially does have a lower float than Dogecoin potentially, right? Dogecoin was dispersed decently. There were some big holders of Dogecoin, but Shiba Inu coin, I have not actually looked at who's holding, but it looks like there might be some big holders who are just holding their coins, unwilling to get rid of them. So very possible that Shiba Inu coin will continue to move up. We're not at the peaks of where Dogecoin was market cap wise for Shiba Inu. It could obviously, move up maybe even to $100 billion. So it could still double from here. I'm not saying that's impossible. It's going to be tough though. As we climb up into these higher valuations for market cap, a lot of people are going to be looking to take profits. They may have 10x their money already, and turning 100,000 into $1 million is a good thing to do over the course of a month or two. So a lot of people might be looking to get out, but potentially some people will be looking to turn 1,000 into $1 million, and they'll just keep holding. They'll see that their 1,000 is turned into 10,000, and they're waiting for it to become $1 million. So there's a potential that it could keep pumping. Shiba Inu is an interesting one. I still hold my Shiba Inu. I'm up about 700 something, maybe 800 something percent at this point, but I sold most of it a little bit ago when I was up like 200 or 300%. I learned a bit from Doge, but not enough apparently. I was just happy to make a decent profit on it. So speaking of which, we've got the poll with 123 votes. Paul Blackford, what do you think about SafeMoon? SafeMoon, SafeMoon sounds very promising, right? When you look at what SafeMoon is and the idea that I think they burn coins with every transaction, and holding it, allows you to just constantly collect more SafeMoon because you get a fraction of all the transactions. It sounds very promising. And let's actually look at it on CoinMarketCap. I am curious if it's up there. So it doesn't look like a SafeMoon is listed here, but it is interesting. It sounds like a very promising idea, but it almost seems a little pyramid schemey. I don't know. I didn't get in on SafeMoon. It's the kind of thing that I would have bought if I had a Binance account and I had access to it, but I ended up not buying SafeMoon, just because it seemed almost like it was trying a little too hard, right? The creators almost seemed to be trying a little too hard to make something that would pump. So I'm not sure. I didn't buy it, but I can definitely see how it could get up. Let's see. Here we go. SafeMoon right here. Wow. Well, SafeMoon has been pumping big. If you look at the past day, SafeMoon is up massively. So let's see. It was down around. These freaking coins that are super cheap. It's tough to say what the price is, but if you look over the past month, we're up really large on SafeMoon. So SafeMoon has been exploding. It was the kind of thing that I was considering buying a couple of months ago. So yeah, I guess I technically would have been up on money, but $3 billion market cap. It's an interesting one. SafeMoon's interesting. It's something that I would rather just watch, though. It's a little bit too niche for me to get into, right? Shiba Inu coin, if you can buy it on Webull, I'm happy. I don't think you can buy SafeMoon on Webull. I'll take a look at that, but I don't think you can buy SafeMoon on Webull. I'm pretty sure it's only very select brokerages. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So here it is, SafeMoon on Webull. You can't trade it though. It says you can't trade SafeMoon on Webull. Let me pull that up and make sure that makes sense. Right at the very bottom, it says this cryptocurrency is not tradable on Webull. So you can view it, but you can't actually trade it, unfortunately. So does Shiba and Doge have unlimited coins? So I think Doge has unlimited coins, right? There's a built-in inflation mechanism where you mine the coins, and it's a set amount per year, and it's not a ton, right? So they do have unlimited, I believe, for Doge, unless they've changed it since I checked. Because these are cryptocurrencies, they're updatable to an extent. I'm not sure if you could update that. I'm not necessarily a crypto expert. I do trade them from time to time, but I don't know about the ins and outs of programming them. But I know Dogecoin does have no limit on the number of coins over all time. However, there is a limit to how many you can mine every year. And for SHIB, I'm not actually sure. I think the idea with SHIB is it's supposed to be deflationary. I'm pretty sure. Let me actually look that up. Does SHIB have unlimited supply? Let's see. There is essentially an unlimited supply. 1 quadrillion Shiba Inu coins. Okay, so let's see. Is there really an unlimited supply to Shiba Inu? That's what I'm curious about. Okay, yeah, no. So it looks like Shiba does have a limited supply. And it looks like people are expecting Shiba Inu coin to move up because they're going to be burning coins, which is essentially where people take their coins and destroy them or send them to a wallet that is not accessible by anyone. So that essentially just decreases the amount of available coins on the market and thus the market cap. So Shiba Inu would then be more likely or more easily pumped. But people keep talking about the burning, and I should look more into it. But what I'm not sure about is who is the person who's going to burn their coins, right? Who is going to throw their coins away and destroy them? I'm just not sure who wants to do that, right? Because they would be throwing away, if it was a significant burn, billions of dollars of value. And maybe everyone burns their coins a little bit, but then it doesn't really matter if the price of the coins goes up if you're burning a certain amount of them at the same rate. So you wouldn't really be increasing your worth at all. But, that's beyond me. I haven't looked too deep into Shiba Inu, but I know a lot of people are interested in it. So I'll let them take care of it, the crypto experts. And JD Gaz, you're welcome. Yep. So I did actually want to make a new poll, but I will read out the results of this poll first. We got 129 votes. What stock are you the most bullish on today? The top performer was DWAC with 43% of the votes, then MARK with 15%, then Lucid at 25%, and PROG at 17%. But I actually wanted to make a new poll, so I just ended that one. And I will make a new one that includes Shiba Inu coin. I'm curious what percentage of people think that's going to be doing the best. And it's very possible that it will be doing incredibly well. It's very possible. So I'm making a new poll. Which are you the most bullish on this month? So we're looking 30 days out. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Which are you most bullish on this month? We'll include DWAC, obviously. SHIB. We'll add in... What else should we add in, guys? What do you think we should add in? We might do PROG because this, although we are breaking down into lows of day, there is still some potential for PROG, especially if we bounce off of 350. We'll include PROG. And then what else? What would be a good last one to add? Maybe Tesla. Tesla has been making all-time highs, so we'll include Tesla. So there we go. We've got the 4. The new poll should be coming out any second. Make sure to vote in that. I'm very curious what you guys think will be the top performing stock or crypto this month. It should be coming out any second. Yeah, so here we go. We've got the poll. Make sure to vote in that. Which are you most bullish on this month? We have DWAC, SHIB, PROG, and Tesla. I'm very curious what you guys think on that. So there we go. We're going to see what the results of that poll are. But Tesla has been stagnating a little bit, though it's very cool that Tesla made a new high. I think we got it live on stream, $1,100. So very cool stuff for Tesla. Elon Musk is surely very happy about that. He's much richer now. He's much richer at this point. He's been making a lot of money off of Tesla stock. He's the richest man in the world. We will look at that for a second. We'll look at the richest person ranking, hopefully real-time billionaires. Yep, thank you, Forbes, for providing this to us. Right, so we've got it right here. The real-time billionaires list. Elon Musk is number 1, $287 billion net worth. And the change, I think this has changed on the day, $3.8 billion, or up 1.34%. Looks very similar to what Tesla's doing, right? That's up 0.95%. So, yeah, Elon Musk is leading the charge with $287 billion. Right behind him is Jeff Bezos, actually down on the day, right? Lost $6.9 billion. Poor Jeff lost $6.9 billion, and that's no surprise. If you look, we can look at the map of the S&P. Amazon is down 3.71%. So no surprise that that Bezos is down 3.46% today, or 6.9 billion. I mean, that's crazy stuff, guys. You know, that's what compound interest can do for you. Maybe not to this extent. You'd have to live a long time, but or you start a company. Bernard Arnault and family. I'm not sure who this is. He's not the most well known to me, but 189 billion. All right above Bill Gates. 137. Where's Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett's below Mark Zuckerberg. That's interesting. You know, Warren did really well for himself with his value investing, but Zuckerberg and the tech gurus, him, Gates, Musk, Jeff, they all surpassed Warren, and Warren's a lot older than them. But it shows, you know, down 288 million on the day. Warren has lost 288 million. I mean, that's incredible. The fact that these people can lose that much money and it's just a drop in the bucket, 0.27% for them. That's like nothing. You know, my portfolio changes by more than 0.27% each day, and it's nothing compared to the actual dollar amount that Warren just lost, 288 million. I mean, the goal is to one day have an account that's anywhere near, that's a fraction of what Warren just lost today, right? So really cool that these billionaires are out there. They've got quite a bit of money. They have quite a bit. Very cool list. I like that Forbes makes that list and that it updates and all that. But yeah, the billionaires, they're doing good, it looks like. So once again, in case you guys were missing it, the results of the poll. So still, most of the people voting in the poll are saying DWAC, up 52%. Right? Or the results of the poll, 52% of people are bullish on DWAC. So PROG Ortex looks like shorts are jumping back in, says Antix the Legend. Yeah, looking at PROG, yeah, it does look like they're jumping back in. Let's take a look at the PROG on Ortex, see what happened to it. Because it was down. It looked like shorts were exiting. It still looks like shorts are exiting, right? Down 4.17%. That's even less. It was down 2% earlier. Now it's down 4%. So shorts are still exiting their positions. I think it was down 2% earlier. So yeah, shorts are still exiting. It looks like some people are just taking a respite on PROG. I'm not sure. You know, maybe they're just not ready for it to bump up. Maybe they don't want to hold it over the weekend. They're worried. But we still have a very nice $3.50 support level right here. I'm not too worried about PROG falling below that unless something big happened, right? Unless we saw some big volume pushing us through for some reason, which I can't imagine why that would be if shorts are covering right now. Then I'm not too worried about us dropping below 350, right? Obviously, maybe before the weekend, we drop down to like the 340s. Could happen, but let's hope not, right? I don't think that it should. And even if it does, then we still have this this level right here between 280 and 320, which we traded at in one point. 320 could act as a very strong support. You can see right here, it acted as a resistance and a support over here, which we can even, I don't think that we'll be re-entering that range, but we could even draw another, just a support line right there to show at 320 that we have used 320 as a both a resistance and a support in the past. We can zoom in right here and see ourselves bouncing off of 320 several times, both to the downside and the upside, right? So 320 could act as a support if 350 fails us. I hope that won't be the case. I don't think. What was the news on PROG? Is the conference older? I have not been watching the PROG conference, actually. Unfortunately, we've not been watching the PROG conference. So I'm not sure what the news on PROG is, but we can look and see. It doesn't even mention it, actually. The news doesn't even mention the PROG conference. I'll pull it up on Yahoo Finance. Maybe they'll have it there. They might. We'll see. You know, there's no news out on PROG stock. It doesn't even mention the conference in the news. They reach outstanding debt, or they reduce their outstanding debt. That's the last thing that we heard 3 days ago when we were pumping up big, but no news about the PROG conference. Can you look at IINN making a jump right now? Says Marathon. Yes, I can. I will look at IINN. Wow, up 7%. Big volume just came in. What happened? Nothing that's being reported on just yet. It's possible some of these squeezes might just be influencers on Twitter. We've seen the same thing happen with Zach Morris when he tweets about something, but let's take a look at IINN. Let's see, yeah, so low market cap, 38 million, easy to do this kind of a thing too. Not surprising that it can bump up so much so quickly, right? Off of what seems like not much news, but 28. Resumed trading, they were halted. Let's see what the news was that made this thing pump up. So this was the 26th. planning to distribute its business in Europe, Asia, and Australia. They say they're well-funded and keeping an eye on potential opportunities, and is working on more strategic partnerships and distribution deals, saying they're just getting started. So it looks like they had a big meeting, an interview with Benzinga, and that may have pumped the stock up quite a bit. Obviously, that's only going to be the case with these lower market caps. 38 million, no wonder an interview on Benzinga could pump it up a bit. So yeah, IINN, that is getting pumped right now. We're going to have to see. It looks like, we had a big rally up to almost $10, subsided a little bit. We've tried to get back up. This rally, it's looking like it might be a little bit smaller than the last one. I don't know if we'll actually continue moving up like that. Typically, when you see these rebound plays, they move up massively on the catalyst initially. Then you can see a little bit of a rebound, and the subsequent rebounds tend to be a little bit smaller. It's not guaranteed. Obviously, patterns can break, but it tends to be the case that the rebounds get a little bit smaller. So we've got 133 likes on the video. We've got a lot of new viewers that have come in recently. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 140. If we could get 140 likes, that would be nice. And on the new poll, it's looking like DWAC is still in the lead. People are still very bullish on DWAC, but 27% of people say SHIB will be most bullish this month. Ambition 2020 says 31 mil market cap on INN or IINN. Not great, correct? Well, not the worst, right? It's obvious when the market cap is this low that it can be easily pushed around. So it's easy to push to the upside, which is what we're seeing right now, but it can be very easy to push this thing to the downside, especially if bigger players end up getting in on the pumps, and when they want to exit, that can really crash the price of the stock. So it depends, for people with the amount of capital that we're likely to have, not a problem really, right? It actually adds to the volatility, the fact that it is low market cap, but if you have larger amounts of money and you want to get in on something like this, you could end up finding yourself, affecting the price of the stock, and that's not ideal because you don't want the stock to be increasing in price because you want to get in and decreasing in price when you want to sell. So for larger accounts, it's a problem, but for the level of capital that we would likely be trading with, probably not the worst, but easily manipulated, right? If shorts wanted to push this thing down, let's check it on Ortex. Then shorts could definitely push this thing down pretty easily. Because it is such a low market cap, they wouldn't have to short that much. And what's very dangerous that I'm looking at right now for IINN is that the short interest has increased 30%. So I'd be wary of it, right? We're at a 21% short interest as a percentage of the free float. So not great. The fact that it is a small market cap makes this all the more dangerous. Shorts could easily push this thing down if they chose. It looks like they're building up their position right now. So yeah. That's what I think about it. But it's an interesting one. You could, if you're taking a little scalp, you could still make some money. We got 139 likes. We just need one more. We're close to 140. One more like, and we can get up to 140. That's where we like to have the stream. That's where we've ended it pretty much every day. We've ended with above 140 likes. Maybe we'll end today with above 150. We'll see. We'll see if we can do it. DWAC, unfortunately, seems to just be stagnating around $68. In between 68 and 69.5, we've just kind of been trading in this range for a little bit. Not making too many moves over the past 30 minutes to an hour. Just kind of bouncing back and forth. So, that was, if that had been identified earlier, that could have been a decent trade to take. Bounces off of 68. But I like holding DWAC, so I'm not too worried about it. I don't mind holding it. But the warrants... Let's check out what the warrants are doing. They have actually just been tanking today. People have been selling the warrants. It's down 8% on the day. It's a little bit more volatile than DWAC. And since it's an inefficient market right now, since DWAC is tough to short, I see catching falling knives in the future for that one. IINN. Yeah, very possible. Yeah, people, if they don't have access to the Ortex data, they might not realize that IINN is being heavily shorted. And that shorts are not afraid to manipulate things. So I would be wary of this, the fact that so many shorts are piling in. But DWACW, the warrants, what I was saying. What was I saying about it? Something about, okay, yeah, inefficient market. So I will actually pull up this article that explains it pretty well. DWACW, let's see if I can't find... the warrants. Let's see if we can't find. Okay, yep. So on Barron's, they wrote this article discussing the. Oh, I can't access the article anymore because I haven't subscribed to Barron's. Anyways, what they were discussing in the article was that there's an inefficient market on the warrants because currently the borrowing costs of DWAC are too large to be shorting it long term. That's likely why we don't have any Ortex data on it. Also, I think it's a SPAC. It's a little bit different for SPACs how they're shorted. I think it can be very expensive to do, and it doesn't justify shorting them long term. That's why we don't have any short interest change or short interest percentage of the free float for DWAC. But that stops people from buying the warrants and shorting the stock, which is normally how these two prices would be brought closer together. Ideally, these warrants would be trading at just $11.50 below DWAC's price because they have an $11.50 exercise price. Maybe they'd be trading a little bit below that because there is some risk that if DWAC moved to zero, then these warrants would expire worthless. And if you just invested in DWAC, then you would still have some value left over, even if it was below $11.50. So normally people will buy the warrants, arbitrageurs basically will buy the warrants and short the stock until the price is aligned. So there's no intrinsic value difference between them, or at least very little. However, that's not being done since DWAC is a SPAC. So Dark Passenger says, thank you, you're doing great. Thank you, man, I appreciate that. And what do you think about CEI? We will pull up CEI. So CEI, we, over the past couple of days, have been dipping down below this key range that we ended up forming right after the Carousel Capital short report. Let's even pull out the past 90 days. I think we'll have to do that. So Carousel Capital, obviously this thing was running up huge with the help of Zach Morris, right? The Twitter influencer, who we'll pull up his Twitter in just a second. But then on this day, it ended up getting dumped. A ton of people shorted it, pushed it down. Carousel Capital released their short report and pushed it down a ton. It ended up trading in this range, though, for the rest of the day, around $1.40 to $1.80. And that was identified. We can't quite see it on these hour-long bars, but it's just far enough out so that we can't zoom into the minute. But you could see back then why $1.40 to $1.80 was going to be important. However, since then we've tried moving below and we've tried moving above, but we did end up returning to $1.40, $1.80 several times. If you look, it tends to be a support and resistance for us. But we ended up on our last pump when Zach Morris discussed CEI, when he last spoke about it on Twitter, he was saying he was going to be getting back in, and we did pump up massively. We were up 14% on the day. We ended up using $1.80 as resistance. Zach hasn't tweeted about it since, and we've just faded away with CEI. So we're really waiting for Zach Morris to tweet about CEI stock if we want it to go up. So I'll pull up his Twitter. For those of you who don't know who Zach Morris is, I'll give him some free clout. We'll pull up Zach Morris. And he's basically, for those of you who don't know, his name is a play on words, right? Zach Morris is a character from the old show or sitcom Saved by the Bell. And that's kind of a play on words on the market Saved by the Closing Bell, right? So he hasn't tweeted about CEI in a long time. If you control F for it, nothing shows up. So he's not tweeted about CEI. He's kind of forsaken it seems. But he's an interesting one, and if he does tweet about it, you never know if it's going to pump up. So, AMC just ripped, says Jason Cropper. Let's take a look at AMC. Yep, up 3% on the day, and a lot of volume coming in. I wonder what the news was. AMC, okay, so 11:26 when this started. AMC Entertainment options alert. So there were some options, and shares spike higher. Seen traders circulate earlier guidance from Reuters Co. is set to report quarterly earnings of $700 million. Okay, so it seems like it's on good earnings news, as well as a bunch of $35 calls being purchased, which does create buying pressure, right? That's what we're talking about with PROG stock. The reason that PROG we're very bullish on is because, here, let's pull it up, the options for PROG, the November 19th strike date, you can see there are a ton of open interest call options for the $3.50 calls and the $4 calls. And if we got both of those in the money, the closer that we got to November 19th, then the more this thing would likely rise, as institutions had to cover those options positions, which they're likely just selling, not expecting to buy the underlying shares. So PROG has been doing decently, right, on expectations of a gamma squeeze as well as a short squeeze. But a gamma squeeze does look more potentially possible in the short term, right? A gamma squeeze is likely what would lead to a short squeeze because we need something to pump prog up in a big way to get shorts to have to cover, right? Because shorts, when you're shorting a stock, there isn't buying pressure unless you get margin called, unless you're down on a ton of money. And looking at the short interest on prog, you can see that there are a lot of shorts. And that they may have even been shorting when this thing, obviously they were shorting it for the most part when this was much cheaper, when it was down in the $2 or $3 range is when they were really building up their position. Even below that, a lot of them were building up their position. But a lot of shorts probably have lost money on prog stock thus far. Unfortunately, it seems like right now we're hitting the 350 support. We're going to see if that holds. It's massive volume coming in. So this, if anything, is what could break us through. Hopefully not, though. We're going to have to watch this closely. But prog is breaking down just a little bit. So, AMC just ripped. Thank you. You're doing a great job, Stark Passenger. Thank you, man. And can you please do an analysis on PHUN? Yeah, we'll look at PHUN. AMC is looking. That's good news, though. The fact that AMC is pumping up. That's why the AMC options are likely why a lot of institutions bought some shares right there to cover that position. So PHUN. Yeah. So we've talked about PHUN a couple of times, but the main point that I keep trying to get across with PHUN, it is shown best if you look at the 10-day chart for it and DWAC at the same time. You see that they're basically trading according to the same patterns, right? The charts look extremely similar. Big pumps up and spikes up before some halts shot them down, then rebounds in at the exact same time during after hours and pre-market before subsiding more and more. However, the key difference between PHUN and DWAC is that DWAC is a little bit more bullish, as a larger market cap. It's more well known. It's more tied to. Let me pull it up over here on Google Trends. We'll search for DWAC stock and PHUN stock. We'll compare the two on Google Trends, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The fact that DWAC is much more well known than PHUN. We'll pull that up right here. You can see search interest, right? For DWAC, which is the blue line, is much higher than PHUN stock, which is the red line. That's not to say that PHUN doesn't have a lot of search volume, right? It's very significant, especially, I'm sure, if you compared it to other stocks. PHUN would be massive. A lot of people are searching for it. A lot of people are interested in PHUN, but DWAC is beating it by a lot. So it is the top dog regarding Trump pump, and that has led to it actually being slightly more bullish on most days, right, than DWAC. If you look at the two, even today, this is exemplified. You can see that while they do tend to move up and have green bars at similar places, the green bars on PHUN tend to be lesser and not move us up as high as those on DWAC. We tend to have bigger red bars as well, and as well as the fact that, if you look at the percent changes on these both, DWAC is down 7% and PHUN is down 11%. So PHUN tends to be a little bit more bearish. So Zach Taylor says, what's your Twitter handle? I'm pretty sure it's Rob Almazy. I'm pretty sure it is, but I never tweet anything out. Yeah, Rob Almazy right there. You can see, at Rob Almazy. So that's me on Twitter. I don't think I have anything posted other than maybe some links to my Instagram, maybe. Let's see. What does my home look like? Or what does my profile look like? Who's following me? Got 3 followers right now. Yeah, I do not post much to Twitter, unfortunately. It looks like I've not posted anything of note, really. I've never made many original posts. I've mostly retweeted, or it's spam saying that I'll pull it up here, but this is my Twitter right here. If you guys want to follow it, feel free. But basically, I used to, and I still do have an account on Instagram where I post motivational and inspirational quotes and whatnot, also Rob Almazy. So if you guys are interested in following that, I do post more trading things nowadays, but not too often. So, Dark Passenger, MRK just reached highest all 52 weeks. Let's take a look at that, MRK. MRK up at $87. Oh, it's Merck. Nice. Yeah, I have family that works at Merck, so this is a good stock. I don't actually own any, but I do have family that works there, so they are a good company. So I've heard. At least they treat their employees pretty nicely. Yeah, all-time highs, at least in the past year. Let's see. Past 2 years, not quite all-time highs for that, but I believe this is likely on the news that they are finishing up that drug that's supposed to improve their COVID outcomes or something like that, right? So says people with mental health issues should get the COVID vaccine boosters. U.S. vaccination rates remain static. Okay, here it is. Merck's COVID pill could bring in up to $7 billion in sales next year. Yeah, they were developing some pill that was supposed to be a COVID-19 treatment. So it sounds like that went well and could bring up to $7 billion worth of revenue to them every year. So that's why Merck is popping. Rocky Mountain Gobblers just found you. Subscribe. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And Ambition 2020 says, Lucid down for lunch already. Looks like you have to get in and out early to play ping pong with that one. I like Lucid. Yeah, I like Lucid too. It is very promising. Over the long term, I think. It's promising as a long-term hold as well. So DWAC is actually moving back up. But yeah, with Lucid, I do like it over the long term. I think that it's not just going to be Tesla, right, that has control over the EV market. I think that Lucid's doing a great job. And actually, they have the longest range EV vehicle, I think, ever rated by the EPA. Let's take a look at that. I'm pretty sure that's the stat. It's longer range than Tesla's vehicles. So let's see. Lucid longest range vehicle. We want a better article than that. Yep, here we go. On Reuters. Thank you, Reuters. So, if we pull this up, Lucid has just received government certification. This was a while ago, September 16th that this happened, but the Air Dream Edition range luxury sedan has received U.S. government certification for a range of 520 miles. So yeah, government certification, I believe, from the EPA, right? Yep. This sedan was the longest range EV rated by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, the company said, and it rivals Tesla's Model S long range, which had a range estimated of 405 miles. So more than a 25% increase in range from Tesla's longest range vehicle to Lucid. So a lot of people are likely to want to get in on Lucid because of that. And their cars look great too. They certainly do. I would still personally go for a Tesla, though. I like Elon Musk. I think he's doing good stuff. If I was going to buy a car, I would still go for a Tesla. But Lucid is a very promising stock to hold, I think. A lot of people might prefer the range. I would prefer the advanced self-driving capabilities of a Tesla. But any news on BBIG, says Leo KY. Let's take a look at BBIG. You know, I think that the deal with BBIG is, we were talking about this earlier in the stream, is we'll most likely have to wait until a couple of weeks before the Tide dividend comes out. That's expected to be on December 27th. That's when the company pushed their date back to. So we're going to have to wait until around then for BBIG to really start moving up. I think maybe, it could happen a couple of weeks before. It could happen in a month from now, just on expectations that it will start rising, right? People might start buying prematurely. For now, it looks like we're just sitting around $5, and that's not a bad thing, right? Not a bad price to be sitting at. At least we're not sinking, though. We are kind of still downtrending a little bit, right? Yesterday, we actually hit the lows of 455 before we bounced up a little bit, and it looks like we might be getting bounced off of 5 to the downside at the moment. You can kind of see we moved down, tried to get back up above, and are now moving down again. That's not ideal. But with BBIG, right, you're either worried about it short term, in which case you might not want to be in a short-term trade with it. But if you care about it for the dividend, then there's not too much to worry about because the dividend is coming out still. It's not like they destroyed the dividend. They didn't get rid of it. They just delayed the Tide dividend. So you still got that as a catalyst in 2 months from now, just about. It should be coming out. So I expect more volume and momentum and news and hype around then. That's what I'm expecting with BBIG. Until then, not much to discuss with it, just because we're kind of just going to be either consolidating or downtrending. Maybe we could get a little pump here and there, but it's cooling off for now. We're waiting for the Tide dividend to come out with BBIG. So that's what I think about it, Leo Kai. And we just got to 150 likes. Awesome, guys. I appreciate that a lot. I didn't even have to ask to go to 150. That's much appreciated. But it looks like PROG handled the $350 support level very well, right? We saw big volume coming in. 1 million shares trading that minute. And we started moving up off of that, right? So really good stuff. Maybe we'll see a bit of a V. This is very good, right? If we were to bounce off of any place, $3.50, makes a lot of sense for us, right? Because that's where we bounced off yesterday. And we have bounced off of it in the past as well. So if we were going to see a V on PROG today and start moving up, now would make sense to start doing it. We might see a little bit of resistance at 368, a little bit of difficulty getting through that because it has acted as a bit of a support for us. If you move that line up a little bit, it acted as support several times, but I'm not too worried about that, right? We don't want to see ourselves moving back down like we are right now. We don't want to move back down towards 350. That's not ideal. But overall with PROG, I'm not too worried about it. I think that it's going to handle its own. Samer says, what about BNGO? Yeah, let's take a look at BNGO. Oh, missed the O on that one. BNGO. So it looks like we had an initial pump and have since been subsiding. Looks like the earnings just haven't been great, though we did turn around on this earnings call. We ended up turning around in a fairly significant way, right? We moved from 450 to 850. So let's see, we've got another earnings call coming up in just a couple of days on November 4th. So anything has what's happened recently for it? Just declaring their earnings call. Says presentation that they have new capabilities for optical genome mapping with detection of allelic imbalances and absence of heterozygosity, further expanding its utility and revealing more clinically relevant data. All right, so it looks like this might be a biotech company. Let's take a look at finance, see the market cap. I have heard of BNGO. Let's pull it up right here and see what we've got. So it's a decently sized company, right? 1.47 billion. Obviously, at one point, people were expecting that they would be, doing a lot better than they currently are when it was trading at 15, about 3 times the current price. Likely off of some hype, maybe an FDA kind of approval sort of situation. But let's see if we can't figure out exactly what they do. Okay. Let's see. What does BNGO stock do? It's focused on providing optical genome mapping solutions for genome analysis. So that sounds kind of like a futuristic technology. That could be good. Ambition says Dinger's going bananas. We'll look at that. We'll look at that in a second. But yeah, BNGO is subsiding, but it does sound like a future tech company or a future, biotech company, I guess, which is always a promising area, right? I think we're going to have a lot of those doing very well in the future, especially as we start to understand the technology behind them better and maybe get some AI learning going on with them. That would be very useful. So BNGO could be a good long-term hold, I think. Yeah, especially if this earnings call is good. We did see 2 earnings calls ago a big move up right afterwards. So if there was ever a promising time, we've not typically seen massive downwards moves on earnings calls. It typically hasn't been extremely negative for the earnings calls. We tend to see more upside potential from them. So it could be a good hold over the next couple of days. It looks like a low risk, potentially high reward situation and a decent hold over the long term. Once again, I'm not too sure about the fundamentals of the company other than what I just learned, but they seem like they're decent. So Dinger, yeah, let's look at that. I wonder if we can find it. I think it's on CoinMarketCap right here. So yeah, you were talking about that yesterday, Ambition. So let's find Dinger. Dinger token. Yeah, it looks like it has been moving up. It looks like we can't really zoom out that much, but yeah, it has been moving up. So that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what platforms trade it though. And still only a $76 million market cap. Very low market cap. Has the potential to rise, but we'll have to see. If Elon pumps it, then it might rise. How can the recent news affect PHUN price? So the recent news, I think, was PHUN the one? No, it was Mark that had the Bitcoin news. But what is the recent news on PHUN? Had enough PHUN with DWAC trades? Interesting. No, okay, yeah. They did accept Bitcoin payments. It was PHUN. Oh yeah, for their personal computers, they actually moved down on it. Initially, they had a little bit of a pump up. This is basically on the news that they started accepting Bitcoin as payment for their light computers, which all in all, not necessarily the best fundamental news for the company. It doesn't really matter if they take payment in Bitcoin or if they take payment in dollars. So the recent news almost may have dissuaded people from investing in this. It's looking like that might be the case, that either the news just wasn't publicized and nobody heard about it, or people looked at it as they're just trying to ride the Bitcoin wave and build up some hype just to pump up the stock. People might view it as potentially they're thinking about a stock offering. Some of the more savvy investors might view it that way, because they might be thinking, hey, why are they trying to just pump up the price of the stock by accepting Bitcoin? That seems like a very pumpy thing to do, right? They might be looking at doing a stock offering sometime soon and want the price to be very high. Who knows? But I would worry about that. Yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of the PHUN going down so much. I'd like to see them moving up. Tesla, on the other hand, moving up big, almost getting to the all-time highs again, right? Getting very close to $1,100. PROG, we're still seeing a nice bounce off of 350. Hopefully that maintains itself. I'll zoom out a little bit more just to give us some more view on it. Right, like there, that looks good. And DWAC hopefully will start moving back up towards 70 near the end of the day. That's the hope. So Patrick Lee says Shiba Inu to the moon. I hope so. I hope it goes to. I have some Shiba Inu coins as well, so I'm hoping that Shiba Inu goes to the moon. I'm holding quite a few Shiba Inu coins. 2 million Shiba Inu coins. It's not much dollar wise, but it's a lot of Shiba Inu. So yeah, I'm hoping it does go up. Another 1,000% run this weekend. I don't know about 1,000% run. If you look at the coin market cap, we'll pull that up real quick here. Coin market cap for Shiba Inu is sitting at $40 billion. So that would be a 10x increase. So could we really get to $400 billion market cap if we had a 1,000% run? Oh, that would be, I don't know if we could do that. That would bring us to be the number 3 largest crypto, right under Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe it could, but I don't think that's too likely. I don't think another 10x is too likely. That seems kind of far-fetched for Shiba Inu coin, maybe, but I'm not too sure about it. I would be hesitant to agree with 1,000% run on it. It seems a little out of the question, but maybe. If we get a lot of coin burning going on and Robinhood listing, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, if we saw a coin burning, that would actually remove my fears of the market cap just being too large, right? Because my number one worry right now with Shiba Inu coin is the large market cap, and coin burn would reduce the market cap because there would be less coins and the price could remain the same, but there would be a smaller market cap because there are less coins to multiply by the price. So if we did burn some coins, if someone burnt a ton, then that could be good, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. We have yet to see. We've yet to see a significant amount of burning going on, at least not that I'm aware of. So DWAC moving back up. I'm liking this. I'm liking that we haven't just been trending down all day, that we are consolidating. You know, any consolidation is appreciated with DWAC after moving down from our highs. It only adds to the legitimacy of the price that we are currently sitting at, and the fact that we're not consolidating at lows. The fact that we bounced off of lows around 55, that we're in the 60s, the high 60s at that, and that we were above the 70s yesterday is very good, I think. And it'll be great if we can end above 70 today. I would really like to see maybe in power hour or during lunch just a slow bleed up. That would be great to see. But looking again at the poll, we can see that what people are the most bullish on this month, DWAC, 47% of the votes are for DWAC, 25% are for SHIB, 22% are for PROG, and 6% are for Tesla. Let's see. Jordan Israel Peterson, that pill is worth something like $17 to produce. The cost is $700 plus on something, recovery rate of 98%. Do they not have access to information? Yeah. No, I mean, that's true of a lot of pharmaceuticals. You know, when companies get patents on stuff, it gets very expensive. So that is unfortunate. And it looks like PHUN is dipping a bit. PHUN dipping down a little bit lower on the day, making new lows last minute. So that's unfortunate. You know, I'm the most bullish on DWAC, but even it's down on the day. I'm down $700 just about profit and loss wise on the day. Still up over 6K all time on DWAC. So we're still in the green right now. Markets of profit created specifically for Nancy Pelosi, says Jordan Israel Peterson. Yeah, I mean, all those pharmaceutical companies make a buttload of money, so they definitely make a lot. And who knows? Maybe they have lobbyists with the politicians. Who knows? It would not surprise me. You know, those patent laws are really, really, they last a little bit too long, I think. I think that just giving a company a couple of years would make a little bit more sense than giving them, I think it's 20 years right now that companies have to be the sole producer of something that they've invented legally, right? Even if other people figure out how to produce it, they are not allowed to make that specific drug. So that is worrying, right? The fact that the patents just last so long and companies have so long to keep the prices jacked up. It's really unfortunate. You know, I could see maybe 5 years, maybe even just 2 or 3 years would be enough to justify the companies, you know, because the companies do actually need some kind of a patent time. Otherwise, there would be no incentive for them to do research and development on something and then start, you know, using it. And people, if they could then instantly just copy those companies, then there would be no reason for the companies to waste all the money researching and developing it. They just wait for other people to do it instead. But yeah, I think 20 years, I think that's the patent time that we've got currently is a little bit too long. I think that's just too much time to give the companies. I think closer to 5. Now that with the level of tech and distribution that we've got, I think 5 might be more appropriate. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a legislator. I'm not in that space. So what do I know about it? But you can see the markets have actually turned a little bit more green throughout the course of the day. I'm curious what happened to SPY. It looks like it's not down as much as it was. It has been climbing throughout the day. So this is a good indication, actually, that the markets are turning a little bit more green. We might start to see some more bullish activity towards the end of the day. Microsoft and Google, which were just kind of gray, are now both green. They're up 1.1% and 1.22%. Amazon and Apple not down as much as they were. Both were down, I believe, over 3%. Now they're down less than 3 in the high percentages of the high twos. So 2.95 and 2.76. So this is looking decent for us market wise. I think the markets are overall risking a little bit more. The dollar, let's see what happened to that. The dollar has also been going up in value though. So people want more dollars. All right, they want more dollars and more stocks. And let them have it. You know, the government can print it. So let it be. All right. The poll, we only got 85 votes, guys, but we've got more people than that in the stream. So let's get some more votes on the poll. Let's see if we can't get a couple more people voting on this thing because we've only got 6 minutes left in this stream. We're almost done. We're going to end it at 12 for lunch. You know, that's when we typically end these. So we've just got a couple more minutes left, and we may as well get a couple more votes in the poll to see what the ultimate winner of this month will be, at least what you guys expect will be the most bullish asset this month. Right now, it's looking like DWAC is in the lead at 48%, SHIB at 24%, half of DWAC, PROG in number 3 with 21%, and Tesla with 7%. Yeah, I think Tesla's already up quite a bit. So, and you know, it's the largest market cap of all of them. So, I agree with that. I think Tesla's the least likely to be the most bullish over the next month. I think it'll be the toughest move. Although the other 3, I will say, are very risky. There's always the chance that, you know, DWAC, SHIB, and PROG could tank, and Tesla could just stay kind of steady. So maybe the voters for Tesla know what they're talking about. And Ambition 2020 says, lots of news today on Lucid's first customer deliveries on October 30th. This is going to skyrocket. Yeah, Lucid's been, I think they announced something about customer deliveries a bit ago, but this is good news, especially over the long term, right? The fact that they're able to just be expanding their business so quickly and getting the longest range EV vehicle, really incredible stuff for Lucid. I am very happy. Yeah, so Lucid shares are trading higher on continued strength in anticipation of Lucid Air deliveries, which will begin October 30th. So once people really start getting the cars, that could either be very good for Lucid stock or potentially bad, right? If some of the cars have glitches and there are errors, if a Lucid car is in an accident, I know that was used against Tesla a lot. In the early days, people would point out every Tesla accident and just bash Tesla stock because of it. So hopefully the same thing doesn't happen with Lucid. Hopefully they have developed a better product right off the bat. But yeah, it's a holder for sure. Yeah, I think Lucid's going to be doing good over the next while. I'm very bullish. If you look at the I'll pull up the market caps on Lucid. It's much lower than Tesla, right? Even though they have a longer range vehicle, obviously they're nowhere near where Tesla is at business wise. Order wise, they're just starting to deliver their first ones, but it's interesting to look at the market caps and where the ending market caps of their market share may end up, right? Because even if Teslas get ordered 10 times more than Lucid, right? If people are 10 times more likely to order a Tesla, if 9 out of 10 people order a Tesla and 1 person orders a Lucid, when you look at the market caps, I'll pull up Tesla's market cap as well. Obviously, there are other factors that would affect this, but if you look at the market cap, currently Tesla's market cap is more than 20 times, or it's about 20 times Lucid's market cap. So still, it would be, I think, in the end, a stark difference to see 9 Teslas being ordered for every Lucid car, especially considering they have a longer range. And I'm just talking about in a couple years out from here. So it seems like either Tesla could move down a little bit or Lucid could move up. And can you take a look at GREE, says Carol Ting. Yeah, I will look at GREE. Haven't looked at GREE in a bit. It has just been tanking last I saw. But we used to look at GREE and SPRT. Wow, up 16% on the day. What's this? Option alert, disclosing upsized power expansion plans. Okay, so the 25th they did that a couple of days ago. Let's see if that... Yeah, we did start moving up off of 20. And now we're seeing big volume on an options alert. It looks like 11... around then, we started getting a lot of options, call sweeps, it looks like. A bunch of calls were being bought. So let's also look at it on Ortex. You know, for those of you who don't know about GREE, this we used to cover a lot. It used to be SPRT. Mr. Gibbs says GREE. Yeah, we'll look at that. We're looking at that. We're looking at it on Ortex now. So we're going to take a look right there. Greenidge Generation Holdings. You know, we covered the SPRT merger. So looks like the short interest has decreased quite a bit, right? It was much higher, only 8.91%, and has been decreasing today, right? Shorts are covering their positions. Obviously, you know, GREE got pushed down a ton after the merger, right? This is the merger when they started. Let's look at the past 90 days to get a better picture of it, right? So you can see they merged and then just tanked and tanked and tanked. This could be the beginning of a reversal. So hopefully that will be the case. It's tough to say, you know, it's been manipulated so long and so hard. Everyone who's been involved in it before the merger knows that. And I will point out to people looking at this chart, this is not an accurate representation of how money was transferred with GRE, right? This chart that we're seeing, it's almost like two different charts. One is the SPRT. SPRT was a stock, support.com, that merged with Greenidge Generation Holdings. And when it merged, this is where SPRT was trading. But then they changed the share count, right? They gave you 1 share of GREE per 8.5 shares, I believe, of SPRT. So you ended up having far fewer shares at a much higher value, but then you can see it instantly tanked. People were expecting it to skyrocket because they thought shorts were going to have to cover, but that wasn't the case. So it instantly tanked, and people lost a ton of money, and there is, I believe, an ongoing lawsuit about that. So Lucid is a long-term play, 200 to 300 years to come. Yeah, I think it could do that. It could do that. Agreed, Matthew 707, and Ambition agrees as well. Why is NEO down while Lucid is up? Let's take a look at NEO. We haven't looked at NEO in a bit. So it's not always that all EVs are going to move up at the same time, right? Maybe some people are potentially wanting to invest in the EV space, right? And they look at NEO, they look at Lucid, they look at Tesla, and they say, well, I'm going to allocate a certain amount to the EV space. And when one company starts to look a lot more promising, like Lucid has recently started to do a lot better, they broke out of their long-time resistance level and are going to be delivering vehicles starting tomorrow. They'll be delivering vehicles. So as this looks more and more promising, people may be taking money out of NEO and reallocating it to Lucid. That might be going on. So I have a long shot YOLO play on Polestar because I seen a commercial during the World Series. Yeah, that's interesting. Ads work for sure. Ads definitely work. ASM token going to be the next big mover. Reddit and Twitter blowing it up. 10 cents to $10 by 2023 targets. Interesting. I've not heard of it. Could be the next Dogecoin / Shiba Inu coin. Yeah, there are a couple of those. A couple of the next Dogecoin / Shiba Inu coins. We're looking at forgot what the I forgot what it was. Dinger. Yeah, Dinger's one that people are talking about. Could be the next Dogecoin / Shiba Inu. And Lucid cars are much upscale and higher range cars than Tesla, so it should do good once launched. Yeah, we looked at the range, which I don't think we have. Yeah, here we have it right here. Lucid's Air Dream Edition range luxury sedan has a 520-mile range, And Tesla's longest range vehicle is only 405 miles, so more than a 25% increase in range on the Lucid. So very impressive. Yeah, that's really cool stuff. Now, it is 12 o'clock, guys, so we will likely be ending the stream right around now. If you guys want to throw a couple more likes to the stream before we end it, that would be much appreciated. But other than that, guys, I've had a super fun time watching the stocks today. I'll see you all on Monday. That's when we'll be doing our next live stream. I'll probably release a video or two later today if I have time. I do have some other things I need to take care of, but I'll try to make some videos today. There's a lot going on in the market, and it gives me a better chance to do some in-depth research before the videos rather than being on live stream, because it's not necessarily practical to silently read things while I'm live streaming. So other than that, guys, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Later, guys. I'll see you Monday.